Hello and welcome back to the Funfiltered podcast. I am Sam and I am joined as ever by, Jordan.
Yeah.
Briefly confused as to who you were.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Yeah, this shouldn't be... It's been just us long enough
now.
It's like, oh fuck, was that Jordan already? It's like,
yeah.
I would hope you would know.
Yeah, well in the latest blurb, the description for the last thing we put out, that came out today, I wrote it about... like the blurbs usually the springboard is the fact that we're late or that we fucked something up or behind schedule.
Yeah.
And the blurb was about I'm going to stop doing that.
Okay.
Because hey, we're on schedule. Obviously, then we weren't.
Yeah.
But it maintained. But I was like, the whole kind of the gist of it was, don't you hate it when like your mate that just has a t-shirt design Kickstarter says, we here are happy to announce, as though it's like an infrastructure.
Okay.
I said, it's not. Look, whenever I say we, I mean me and Jordan. That's what Funfiltered is. Right. It's me and Jordan, all right?
God,
got it?
My tardiness left you nothing to rant about.
It really left me nothing. It's me and Jordan, and I kind of thought, do I mention Eddie? So what my compromise was, I go, Funfiltered is that. It is currently that.
Okay.
So... maybe that was the source of the confusion, because I've been thinking about like the people on the podcast.
Okay.
But it's not, it's just a brain fault, I think.
Of the two that I could have been,
yes,
you were so unconfident in your answer that you had to pause to think about it.
Does that offend you?
You know what? Yes.
Why does it offend you?
Yes, it does.
Does it offend you purely because it's kind of ignoring you as an individual? Like it could have been anybody.
It's ignoring me.
Or is it because it's Eddie?
Well, whatever the kind way of answering the affirmative to that is, yes. But also,
sorry, Eddie.
I'm not. But the...
hello. Funfiltered Civil War.
Like, I see you how many times a week?
2 or 3.
And you look at me and you go, who is that person?
Well, I still don't know the answer to that question.
No, but like on a deep level.
Yeah.
I'm fine with you not knowing on a deep level.
I'm not.
But like, surely when I'm in the doorway, they'll be like, that silhouette, it's so unfamiliar to me.
Mm.
And all of the detail within the outline as well. It's like, I don't know who that is.
Well, that prompted a nasty joke in my mind. Do you want me to say the nasty joke?
No, but like, this is my point.
Do you not want me to say it?
No.
Okay.
But it's even I will admit, it is a recognisable silhouette.
Well, I was going to say there isn't a silhouette because there's nothing behind it.
Okay, that's different to what I was expecting.
It blocks out anything behind it.
No, and now it's what I was expecting. I thought, oh, interesting. He's decided to go deep.
It can't be a silhouette if it blocks out all light.
It's like, oh, he was going for a deep insult. He was going for an insult on my character. Oh, no, it's my weight. Okay. It's like, there's nothing behind you. You're just artifice. You're just surface.
Yeah, you're just a shell.
Yeah.
But no, he was a fat joke.
Just like the bloody big shell.
Yeah, a really big shell. Sorry, I've lost 4 pounds. Maybe that's why I feel
right, okay. So you think you're
ready.
better than me now?
Have you lost 4 pounds?
Not lost.
Okay, that's fair enough. As long as you have a relationship in some way to 4 pounds, then we're on level.
It's the losing the weight that I could have, like...
Yes.
I didn't need that.
That wasn't the constant. Yeah. It was just 4 pounds. Yeah.
Although I did, how many? It was like 14,000 steps on Saturday.
14,000.
14,000 steps. I don't know if that's considered a lot, broadly speaking.
Yeah, I mean, well, 10,000 steps is the aim, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know whether that's... It's kind of like the standards for morbid obesity with, like, BMI. Like, really? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm morbidly obese.
Okay.
I'm a big guy. I'm a fatty. But I'm not morbid. Like, I wouldn't think people would look at me and go, he's morbidly obese.
Okay.
And a person I know is another person who's, like, around my size, I suppose, a bit smaller, is considered morbidly obese.
Right.
It's like, no. So is it... I don't know whether 10,000 steps is, like... The fact you're supposed to do that every day is the health unrealistic. Like, no one does 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah. Well, I was given, like, a Fitbit facsimile for Christmas.
Yes.
Not an actual Fitbit.
No.
I'm not worth that.
Sure.
I was given a type...
Are you doing a fat bit?
No, it's... It does the thing. It's like... No, it's not branded as a Fitbit, but it serves the same function.
Okay.
And my target, based on the information I gave it about my, yeah, it's telling me 8,000 is my target.
Oh, right, okay.
My daily target, and yeah.
Has it lowered it for you then?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I don't know if, like, because I said to you, like, oh, my target's 8,000. You were like, that's not what I've heard.
Well, I mean, like, on the app, right? Like, the default app. I don't know if it's the default app on all phones. But when you hit 10,000, it goes, well done, you've hit 10,000 steps today.
Yeah, I get that, but 8,000.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like 10,000 other people have said the same. They get notified when they've taken 10,000 steps.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that is tailored specifically to your situation. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't expect you to do 10,000 steps a day.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
It's like, well, we're being optimistic if you can do 8, buddy.
Yeah, well, it's if you want to lose weight... I've been learning a lot about this, tediously. But
I was going to say, isn't this exactly the type of conversation you hate having?
Oh, I hate having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm having it with a person where it's hard to, like, say, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
So, this person talks a lot about it, and, it's like you put all your details in and it says, right, for what you are, you need to eat this amount of calories a day.
Right.
It's not like you can't generalize it to... Well, it's just not generalizable. It's like if you want to lose weight healthily, you should eat 1,500 calories a day or whatever. If you want to maintain your weight, 1,700. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm sure that is tailored to you.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't know why it would ask for your measurements.
I don't know what nationality the manufacturer of this version of the Fitbit is.
Yeah.
Maybe it reflects the attitude of the country it comes from.
What's it called? What's the...
Oh, fuck, I don't even know. Like,
is it not on there?
No, weirdly, it's like just unbranded. Like looking at the device itself. This is all it is.
Okay.
I don't have the box with me.
So it's an off-brand Fitbit.
Yeah.
Probably Chinese then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do they walk much?
Well, they're all thin, aren't they? They don't need to.
Some of them aren't.
Not many.
No, but they do exist.
I'm sure fat Chinamen do exist. It's
no, I feel like I've seen fat Chinamen without going out of my way to see fat Chinamen.
Over here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not saying there are no fat people. Of course, there are fat people in China. Like, yeah. But I would say typically, they're quite slight, aren't they? Speaking of China,
quite what?
Slight.
Oh, slight.
What do you think I said? I generally don't know what. Quite slant.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Or sly. I don't
quite
know.
Sly.
Is that a stereotypical Chinese quality?
They're not suspicious. That's just the way their eyes are.
Right. Okay.
Is that what it is?
The scruted?
Yeah, you cannot screw a Chinaman.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Is that what it's been this whole time? Is that because of the Chinese Communist Party that run the government there? Because of the murky and sinister shit they get up to? Are Chinese people just always a little bit suspicious? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. You just don't want to wade into this water, do you?
Well, I feel like it's a whole other water, and I'm looking at the time, and we're fast approaching. It's too late to do the coming up.
Very true. Should we do it now then?
We'll do the coming up. We'll have other conversations.
We will.
Such as...
We talk about China and related topics.
The Golden Globes happened already. We talk about that.
We review Belfast. The film.
There is news about the future of the BBC television license fee. We talk about it.
I review Mass, the film, not the practice.
Or the science bit. The science.
Or the thing that is volume. Yeah.
And we review Dexter, New Blood.
Speaking of China.
Oh, wonderful. We're back to this.
I didn't plan on talking about this, but I only just watched a video about it. About how, like, American corporations are kind of willingly ignoring the extermination of the Uyghur Muslims for, financial reasons. And, like, Space Jam was supposed to be tailored to China.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it. Would you say that is reflected in the film? I'm not sure whether there's any content. I think maybe the star is popular in China. I think they like basketball.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's interesting, because isn't like the whole thing with China is that they're actually quite a bit racist? Or they're actually kind of
about
racist.
Black people?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reputation.
What's his name from Star Wars?
Yeah,
Finn?
John Boyega.
He was like shrunk on the poster, so you couldn't really see him.
Yeah.
Black Panther. All of the posters for Black Panther, they put his helmet on, so you couldn't see that he was a black guy.
Right. Okay.
Like it's. I don't know if it's like a racist country, but they don't seem to have the best relationship with...
I really don't know. I wouldn't want to speculate.
Or at least, like, Western companies seem to think that they have to downplay black people.
Well, I know that...
Go to China.
In, like, Los Angeles, for instance, I know there's a fraught... Not between all of them, of course, but a fraught relationship between the black and the Korean community.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that's reflective of a more general East-Black divide. I don't know. But, I mean, I don't...
I mean, you got to consider as well that it's like it's a very...
homogenous.
Yeah. Like
that's the thing.
Mono-race country.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
white people are a novelty in China. That's how...
They are, but I suppose if culture does get exported, it's white, you know. It's white people.
Well, that's certainly what they're pushing for, right? The amount of films now that like, because it's there's so many people there. I don't know if it's necessarily like the market is more bustling in China. I just think there's so many people that even a bad film, it gets seen by more people.
Well, a lot of films,
a bad performing film gets seen by more people.
So this was the nature of the story. Apparently, a lot of films that are being made for the Chinese market aren't even getting shown in China for various reasons. Basically, this Cold War playing out between China and America.
Okay.
But Shang-Chi obviously was a film that they thought would do really well in China. And it's funny that you brought up Black Panther, because this is kind of the reason I wanted to bring it up, all for this vaguely racist thing.
Okay.
So Marvel are now, now that they are as big as they are, and they want to, message correctly, they're obviously wading into woke waters quite a lot. And, Black Panther, it's a civil rights milestone, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And they're doing that now with a variety of cultural backgrounds and ethnicities and all these, And so I was thinking, what would Shang-Chi be? Black Panda.
Right.
That's...
So it
was all for that.
You led me to believe that this was like you were going to tell me like a story, like, they released this film in China and like the government spoke out against it and was like, stop pandering to us, or...
Pandering?
Well, there you go. Okay, that could have been a thing as well. But no, it was just like your racist joke. That's what you wanted to throw our way.
Well, it's one I wouldn't usually just go out of my way. I wouldn't usually set up all that to tell a vaguely racist joke. It's not racist, though. It's one of those things where like your gut tells you it is, but think pandas are Chinese. But when I thought of it in the bath, I just thought it's too perfect. Black Panda, it's too perfect. Like a withering review of Shang-Chi. The review could have been titled Black Panda,
right?
And I think aren't they doing now like a Hispanic something or other, a mini series or a film?
Yeah, I have no idea, but that like they could be
Black Mamba.
Black Mamba. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Black Mambo. That's a thing, right?
Black Mambo? Well, Black Mamba is a thing. It's a snake.
Right. If Black Mambo is something else.
Yeah.
Well, Moon Knight, that's not the Hispanic thing, right? That's just a guy.
No, he is Hispanic. I think the character's Jewish.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. No, he is.
Yeah.
He's a Jewishman.
I don't know if Oscar Isaac is Jewish.
Okay.
I don't know. I think he's Puerto Rican.
Is that allowed?
What?
Non-Jewish being Jewish?
Well, not anymore, I wouldn't have. They don't care about Jews.
Okay.
They don't care about representing. To be fair, Jews aren't underrepresented in Hollywood.
No.
It's just not filmed like explicitly a Jewish character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They very rarely do that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking of Cliff Curtis. He's an actor that you'd know him when you see him, sort of thing. Do you know him by name?
Not by name.
He's in... Oh, God, I don't even know. He's in Sunshine, the Danny Boyle film.
Was he playing Sunshine?
He's the psychiatrist. The one that exposes himself to the sun and just gets, like, burnt to a crisp, basically.
No, that doesn't help.
He's in Live Free or Die Hard 4.0, as it was called over here, as, like, the FBI guy. He's in Training Day as a Latino gangster.
I'm going to have to look him up, aren't I?
Yeah, you know him instantly.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do know him instantly.
Yeah, I think he's Maori.
He's what?
He's Maori. He's from New Zealand.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah. And
Rotorua? New Zealand?
Is that the place he's from?
Yeah, Rotorua, New Zealand.
Yeah. He's of Maori, that's his heritage.
Okay.
But he has played Arabic, Latino.
Yes. Yeah.
In Training Day, he's the go-to sort of, he's that kind of gangster.
Yeah.
And no one ever bat an eyelid about that. Because he passed. He was a good actor and he passed. So I don't know. Oscar Isaac might be Jewish. I thought the character was Egyptian, but I think there's something about Egypt he goes to Egypt and there's an Egyptian god or something.
Oh yeah, he is becomes host to an Egyptian god.
Yeah, like possessed essentially.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not like a,
Yeah, come into my house. Rah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually he's just like a live-in.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any of the superhero shit.
Yeah.
He just has to like deal with like the Egyptian god.
Care for some vol-au-vents, Anubis. Yeah. So I don't know, but the China thing. It was Ben Shapiro talking about it, and he played a clip of, I think maybe like the owner of, or the director of the NBA, or something, someone very high up in basketball, being asked about the Uyghur Muslims. I don't know in what context, but he basically said, I don't care.
Right. Okay.
Not basically, he said, I don't care.
Oh, I see.
He said in terms of like the level, the bandwidth, like of what rises above the horizon of me caring, this is beneath it.
Okay.
Like he said, and I think most people feel that way, and they're lying if they say otherwise.
Right.
I don't care. And then he played all these clips of like prominent businessmen and people really downplaying. So I think it's just like a Western, it's so we can ignore our own issues.
Yeah.
And there's clearly people are sucking up to China.
Oh, it definitely feels like that's the line, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, this is something that like I knew about. I knew that there was some genocide going on.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not really in circulation at all is kind of proof enough that it's not something that the people seem to care about over here. But I do think because China, like, it all has to be on their terms, right?
What do you mean?
Just like in general, like this, like when they started showing films over in China, there are like certain conditions that you have to meet.
Yeah.
We recently completed our watching, or your watching, of the Transformers films, didn't we?
Sure.
Finally showed you Transformers: Age of Extinction, which you were rude enough to not watch most of.
I watched it. I wasn't listening to most of it.
You didn't watch it. You were like, I was like telling you plot points while you were in a different room.
Yeah, well, I left the room at one point.
You did.
I mean, yeah, I didn't.
And then you left the room at another point, and then at some point you just weren't in the room anymore. You didn't come back.
It was Transformers.
But they were like paying things off. I was like, look.
Oh, that's not enough.
No.
That's not enough.
No, in a Transformers movie, it is like they're paying something off. That's like a big deal.
No, it's not.
It is a big deal.
It's the basics. It's the bedrock.
No, it is. But in a Transformers film, it's like, oh shit, he's actually like trying to do
they've
something.
risen to bedrock.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just not impressed.
Well,
why should I be impressed?
Maybe you should be.
No. Film with that much money behind it, write it well. It's not hard. I don't know what the refusal to make a good... I know people like Bumblebee.
Yeah.
But...
Well, Bumblebee's just fine. It's just a film.
It's just fine, yeah.
It's a film. That's all I can really say about it.
But I always think this. You've got everything else in line. Fine, have Wahlberg, have Teenage Daughter Girl, have Jack Reiner, have all that. Have TJ Miller. Have Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Can you just get in a good writer?
Titus
Welliver. Yeah, we always like Titus. Kelsey Grammer. But do you know what I mean? It baffles me. It's not that, it's like a good script that was kind of ruined or just get in. There are people that are good writers that would just do it because it pays. I would do it. Yeah. I'm not saying one of those people, but of course I would.
Yeah.
Of course I would write a Transformers film. It's like they are insisting on it being bad. It has to be bad. It has to be just inscrutable and... What's the word I'm looking for? Like random. But there's a specific word I'm looking for here. Starts with I. Oh, it's really going to wind me up.
Incomprehensible?
No, not incomprehensible. That too, but not that.
Okay. I'm going to put random into a thesaurus and I'm going to see what we get.
Okay. It's like I use it all the time. It's one of those things.
Irregular?
No.
Indiscriminate?
No. It's going to come to me.
Impulsive?
No.
I'm running out of eyes, Sam. We're running out of words, I should say. Intermittent?
No. Interminable, that's a word I use.
Interminable, I almost said it out of confusion.
Oh my God. Not inexplicable, no.
You sure it's I?
I'm pretty sure it's I. I wouldn't bet my life on it.
Okay. Inconsistent?
No.
Injudicious?
No.
Irrational?
No.
Irresponsible?
No.
Incidental?
My head's going to cave in on itself now. We can cut all this, right?
I mean, yeah, but I'm worried that we're not even going to be able to continue. The state that you've ended up in.
Oh my God.
Inconsistent?
No.
Incautiously?
No. Is it inexplicable?
Incomprehensible?
No.
Illegible?
No.
Illogical?
No.
Inept?
No.
Incoherent?
It's all of these things, but it's not not the ones I mean.
Can you just settle for one of them?
No, I can't, because it's the fuck... Oh my god, what is it?
At this point, we are running out of words beginning with I.
Might be you.
What? Why is it my fault? Was it me?
I'll begin with you.
Oh, right. Oh, jeez, I gotta start all this again now. Unplanned.
No.
Unparticular.
No.
Uncalculated.
No.
Unexpected.
It's I. It's definitely I.
You're sinking into you're sinking into the ground.
I can't take this. I can't take it, because it's a word I commonly use.
Unavailing.
No, it's I, mate.
Yeah, it is you.
It is I.
Tis I is the problem.
I is the problem. Oh my god. Utterly... Is it inexplicable? No, it's something like that.
I'll put inexplicable in a thesaurus, see what we get. No, I got incomprehensible again.
Help.
I'm trying.
Please.
Incomprehensible, inexplicable. Indecipherable?
No.
You said inscrutable already.
I'm like more and more losing the rope. Like it's pulling further and further away from me. This is gonna drive me insane.
Can you...
It's going to... I can't continue without knowing it.
No, for the sake of the audience, Sam.
Yeah.
You may have to continue a defeated man.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it.
We can't...
I can't do it.
We are on a time limit as well here.
I can't do it, mate. I can't do it. Because it might not start with I, do you know what I mean?
We can start with any letter. It could be any word. At this point, it genuinely could be any word.
It's not any word. It's the one word. No, I can't go on without it. I can't. I'm sorry.
Do you even know at this point what you were like? What the initial...
Yeah, it's like... Is it inexplicable? It's that where it's like random stuff that makes no sense. But it has a different flavour than like incomprehensible or indecipherable or something like that.
Incoherent.
Yeah, like it's different. Through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not happy with incoherent?
No. It would do if I was writing something, but I'm trying to think of a very specific word. Is it inexplicable? Am I overthinking this? Is it inexplicable?
I don't know what else it could be. I've given you a few options now.
I just don't know what to search.
If it's like, okay, if you were writing and you were like, this'll do, why is it that in this improvised setting you're like, no, they deserve better?
Oh, because it would do just for the podcast audience.
Yeah.
I need to know.
Okay.
I'm being unprofessional here.
You are.
I need to remember what it is, because we're going to forget it. And then I'm going to forget that I even wanted to remember it.
And that's bad because...
It's just a personal defeat. And I can't... I feel like this word might go forever now.
It will
and I don't want
cease to exist.
Yeah, I don't want it to do that. Oh my god. What is it? And it's just there. What was the first word I said? Can you even fucking remember at this point?
No. You can't play back while you're recording as well.
No, I know. You can keep all this, but just cut it down.
I think you said inscrutable, because I was going to use that as a segue back into China.
Did I say inscrutable?
I'm pretty sure you said inscrutable. I mean, this whole thing was an example, was it like to bring it back to China anyway, but...
Like out of nowhere, I think would be the closest synonym I can think of.
Impromptu? I don't even know if I've said these words already.
Yeah, you have.
Impulsive.
I'm now paranoid that it's inexplicable, but I can't like...
Impetuous?
No.
I might have to put my foot down.
It might be inexplicable. I'm just going to decide it's inexplicable.
No, it can't be inexplicable because I'm going to be angry
I'm deciding
with
it's inexplicable.
Okay.
I have to decide that it's inexplicable.
Right.
It might not be, but I have to decide right now that it is.
Yeah.
Right. Can you remember what point I was making at all?
No.
Okay. Transformers film's bad.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All that.
Transformers film was bad. And the reason I brought up
Yes.
Age of Extinction
Yes.
is because the end of that film takes place in China.
Yes.
For some reason.
Yeah.
That's like part of the conditions that they have
Yeah.
for showing a film in China. It has to be partially set in China.
Yes.
There has to be a certain percentage of Chinese...
They set the terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A certain percentage of Chinese actors. There can't be any magic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're against magic.
Shang-Chi does have magic, to be fair, maybe.
I think they call it something else though in China.
Okay.
It's like chi or like energy, or they make
Right, okay.
they bullshit their way through
So
it.
city.
So sherry. Yeah, but like there's definitely a concerted like groupthink attitude in like Western media and like about like what the public word on China is. You've got like, for example, like another previous example. I don't know how recent it is now anymore, but oh no, I think it was during the press junket for Fast 9.
Okay.
John Cena said the wrong thing about Hong Kong.
Yes.
Whichever one China thinks it is, he said the truth.
I think, he probably supported the protesters in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Yes. And then, then he had to issue an apology, basically.
In Chinese.
In Chinese.
His entire apology was in Chinese. And I think
yeah.
since then, he's just done, like, videos in Chinese.
Yeah.
Like, there's a meme that was going around pretty recently of him, like, in a car with an ice cream.
Right.
And he's, like, talking about it in Chinese.
Okay.
Shangxina, I think, is the...
Shangxina.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got, like... his face superimposed on Kim Jong-un, or the like whatever the current North Korean leader is.
Okay.
They've got his face superimposed on that.
Right.
Shangxina.
Right. Okay, Shangxina.
But like which the irony, of course, is that he's currently doing Peacemaker, or Peacemaker is currently airing.
Yeah, something good.
In which he's the we might talk about it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
First 3 episodes are out. You clearly have an opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm hesitant because like we need to have content for later.
Oh, that's like weeks away.
Yeah, but like at some point
stuff will happen before then. I'll remember that word.
Oh, will you though?
That'll be a chapter of an episode. Me talking about my journey to get into that word.
But yeah, he's playing like the most American that ever married.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just a Chinese shill, as they all are. It seems nowadays.
Well, I'm not. The verb I'm going to use, it's going to sound like I've used it because it deliberately, it has an almost racialized quality to it.
No,
you
wouldn't do that.
It's just the way it sounds, okay? American businesses kowtow to the Chinese.
No, that wasn't what you said.
What, kowtow?
Yeah, that wasn't why you said it.
Oh, you're saying I did say it because it sounds a bit Chinese.
Yeah.
No, it's the best word for that, isn't it? I don't know what else. Like bend. Kowtow is just a good word.
Yeah.
Kowtow. Like it's also the China becoming a central economic global power. And Shapiro was talking about how that's just not true. It's essentially the equivalent of Russia or the Soviet Union, a second-rate power masquerading as a first-rate power. China, it has a lot of people. And they've set up manufacturing chains that we are reliant on. But the average GDP, America's is 6 times bigger than China.
Right.
Like most people earn 6 times more than the average Chinaman or Chinaman woman. Lady, Chinaman.
Chinaman person.
China people.
Chinaman child.
Yeah. 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 So, I mean, we're saying all this as my Huawei phone is on the table next to me.
Reporting back to Winnie the Pooh as we
back
speak.
to headquarters. Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
Well, Xi Jinping or whatever.
I don't know his name.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
The premier, the Chinese premier. Yeah. He looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, do you know that Winnie the Pooh is censored in China?
Because it looks like him.
Yeah.
Oh, because they see it as because they perceive it as like satire? Or
no.
Or just because people will go, oh, he looks like...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely. Like a load of people were making the Winnie the Pooh the comparison.
In China.
Winnie the Pooh the comparison.
Yeah.
Well, like in culture in general.
Yeah.
But because we're exporting a lot of it over to China now, it was making its way over to China. So now you can't...
Like what, as memes and stuff? Because I've never seen Xi Jinping compared to Winnie the Pooh in like a film or anything.
Well, they did it in South Park, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't
they did a whole episode where, Winnie the Pooh was... denied permission to enter the country because he looked like the president.
There is like an Animal Farm style allegorical novel in there about like the honey represents China's like mining of minerals. And like, you know.
Unfortunately, it's not as well thought out as that. He just looks a bit like
He just looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Like, it's
are there equivalents of the Uyghurs in Winnie the Pooh?
I don't know.
Does Winnie the Pooh massacre a group of people?
I mean, if you count the bees that he eats when he's eating honey.
The Uyghurs are the bees.
The Uyghurs are the bees.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're
not calling the episode that. Because that's one of those things where we'd go, ooh, that's an episode title. I'm not putting Uyghurs in the title of a podcast.
Coward. Now, who's kowtowing to China now?
I'm kowtowing to my life and the sensibilities of what I imagine to be... No, I don't think I can reasonably say that I kowtow to woke sensibilities, but I just want some people to click on us.
Okay.
That'd be nice.
And you think people won't click on us if they see that?
Well,
they will go, what these fucking racists on about? Let's have a look.
Yeah. Joke's on you. We were just hypothesizing about a hypothetical, satirical Winnie the Pooh Xi Jinping novel in the mold of Animal Farm. We're not racist.
Don't you feel like a tit?
No, idiot. I think we got to stop talking about China now. Because the fact is, oh my god, I was going to say it then. And I was like, am I that far gone that I'll say that?
What?
Because like, the fact is, Chinese people are funny. And so if we keep talking about it, I'm going to keep finding it hilarious.
Right.
And I'm going to keep making jokes.
Okay.
So let's move on.
Okay.
Should we talk about the Golden Globes?
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
The Golden Globes happened.
Oh, they happened?
Yeah, they happened.
As in, the ceremony was held and winners were won?
Yeah.
Okay.
The winners weren't won.
The winners won.
That. Yeah, the winners won.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be quite an award ceremony. And the winner of the winner is...
Yeah, you won the winner.
Yeah, you won Meryl Streep.
Does that mean you win yourself, or you win a different winner? It's like a Secret Santa thing where it's like you win, Oscar Isaac wins Meryl Streep, and like this editor wins the director.
I think there's like a basket of pre-existing winners, and you win from that basket.
Oh, so like
there's no like Ouroboros.
So you can't win a winner from this year, but you can win a winner from any previous
You win
year.
past winners.
Okay.
Yeah, the winners this year are the people that are winning past winners.
Right.
Yeah. There's nothing like meta about it.
Okay.
You're just winning other people that are winners.
Okay. What happens in the event that you win a winner who's dead?
You can't win a winner who's dead.
Oh, so like the pool of winners decreases over time. So you've got...
Well, no, the pool, it stays relatively static, because while some people will win multiple awards, there are new winners all the time.
There are new winners all the time.
Or I suppose it does beg the question, are we cancelling the thing that they were winning for in the first place, so that the only thing now that you can win is a winner? If the award ceremony is you win a winner,
yeah,
then the thing that they won for stops being.
I know what you mean, because like, what did the original winners win?
Exactly.
If not winners.
Yeah, because you can't just have like, the first award ceremony they won acting trophies, and then every ceremony after that we've won the winners.
Yeah.
And only the second ceremony could you win the winners of acting trophies. Then every time after that, you just won people who'd won winners of acting trophies.
Is it a case of like...
And it dilutes every time.
Is it a case of...
it's like COVID.
The first ceremony was like ceremony 0?
Yeah.
It's like, this is necessary for us to start having these ceremonies.
Yeah, it's like a pre-awards.
Yeah.
Pre-ceremony.
This ceremony is to decide... What you win is...
This ceremony is...
the status of winner.
This ceremony is to decide the trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You win the status of winner so that at the first ceremony...
You may be one.
You may be one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that's cleared up.
So the Golden Globes happened. It just... Usually, even though I long ago stopped caring about awards, really... There's still that part of me that kind of I keep track and I...
Yeah, you still like make a point of going, oh, the Oscars are tomorrow.
Right, yeah, you still see who won and everything.
Yeah.
And no idea. I saw the nominations a while back, no idea that it was coming, no idea that it had happened. And then, the winners are. Like, oh, okay. So I looked at the winners, and it's boring.
Well, you kind of brought this up a while ago, didn't you? You said that there'd been some concerted effort to reduce the importance and the scope of the Golden Globes?
Yeah, because of the way the Hollywood Foreign Press is structured, or the membership is not that black.
Yeah, they're all white, or most of them are white.
Yeah. they've been somewhat de-emphasized, but it was still a bit of a surprise that it wasn't even news that they were upcoming, that they had just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything from it. I haven't watched any winners' speeches. I haven't seen... I don't know if it was remote. I don't know if it was in person. I have no idea. I assume it was in person, probably like the Oscars.
Yeah, they probably found a way around it.
Yeah. So this is one of those years where you go, oh, I guess that's the film that's going to win Best Picture then.
Okay, and that film is...
Oh, The Power of the Dog.
Oh, okay.
It's a Netflix film. Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, Cody Smith-McPhee.
Sure.
I wouldn't usually bring him up, but I think he's probably going to win supporting actor at the Oscars.
Is he the dog?
There's no dog in it. It's based on like a passage. Yeah, there's no actual dog.
There's no dog in the Power of the... No!
I know. It's like a submarine, you know? But
it's like... it reminds me of that bit from... I think it's In the Loop. It's not The Thick of It, it's In the Loop.
Yeah.
Where Jamie's like, you saw that film, There Will Be Blood. I went to see it. There's no fucking blood.
That's the thing, though. There is, isn't it? The irony is... It's one of those things that, oh yeah, there's not actually. It's like a... But there are massacres in at the end. He fucking beats him to death with a bowling ball pin.
He does do that, yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's all leading to. Anyway, so The Power of the Dog will probably win Best Film.
Okay.
Jane Campion, the director, will probably win Best Director.
Okay.
Female director. Will Smith will probably win Best Actor. I should say, I'm saying this now because these are the people who won the Golden Globes.
Okay. And it's just, like, it's that obvious in terms of just,
it's one of those things, like, until they happened, it's... I mean, you never really know what's going to win what until the award season begins.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, I guess it's their turn. It does seem arbitrary to some extent. It is inexplicable. It seems arbitrary to some extent.
Okay.
I just realised.
Okay.
I hope. But
so you've just wasted our time.
Well, not the audience, because you'll have cut it way down.
No, that's what you've wasted my time.
I wasted your time.
Because not only did I have to experience it live,
yeah,
but I will have to experience it in editing.
Yes,
multiple times.
I might listen to it again, put myself through it a little bit.
No, you
so
won't.
We're both in the same boat.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. Yeah. So, what was I saying?
The winners are just like arbitrary until they aren't.
Yeah. I guess it's their turn, and like The Power of the Dog, I saw it, and I just right, that's a film. People really like it, and I think it's beat Roma for most film to win Best Picture more than any other film across the awards. Maybe just with Netflix, but I think in general, I think he'll win Best Picture at the Oscars. Anyway, so you got, Will Smith won. I guess it's his turn to win the Oscar. Best Actress is a little bit unclear. The lead from West Side Story won in that category. Okay. And Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos won in the drama category, which is odd. Okay. I don't think that means she's the front runner for the Oscar. I think that was like bit of a random one.
Yeah, because I thought the whole point was that she was strange.
Yeah, she's the thing that people complained about.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. Cody Smith-McPhee, Ariana DeBose in the supporting categories, Campion for director, screenplays up in the air.
It's 2009 up in the air, wasn't it? He's giving me a look, audience. He's giving me a look. I can waste your time too.
You want to play that game? I will just sit here and stare at you. I will win the game of chicken. There's nothing really to say. I mean, I wouldn't recommend The Power of a Dog to you. Okay. Boring. Such a boring year. It's just, there's nothing... No one thought Parasite was going to do well at the awards in terms of winning. But at least as a film, it was... Well, it's the obvious what should have won, even if it doesn't. Yeah. There's nothing even like that. There's nothing like, oh my god, Citizen Kane lost to How Green Was My Valley. There's nothing even that good where you would go, oh, that's a shame that lost.
Maybe it's just one of those years.
I think it is.
Because in video games as well, I know we don't really talk about like the video game awards. We didn't talk about them when they came up because it's like, obviously you don't follow it, so it doesn't mean much to you. But like, the Game of the Year nominees, all of them were kind of like, you have like 2, maybe 3 films that it's like, oh, it's going to be hard to choose between these. And then the rest of the nominees are like, they were also good, but they're clearly not going to be blah, blah, blah. Right. But it was all those ones. Yeah. The big 2 and 3 were missing. It was just full of categories. The category was full of games where it was like, it's good, but it's not going to win. Yeah. So maybe it was just that for whatever reason, it was just a bad year for stuff.
I think so. Maybe COVID. I don't know.
But like,
is that the thing?
Again? Oh yeah, maybe because like the end of last year was when everything that had been delayed was finally releasing. But the stuff that we're getting now is the stuff that would have been made during COVID.
Yeah.
So this is like when they had to work around all the restrictions, or maybe like their schedules were completely fucked up.
Maybe.
So yeah, we're getting the stuff that was actually properly affected now.
Yeah, like I don't know, you watch these things and you go, well, I can't see where it's been affected. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can, like Old or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Succession, right? Succession Series 3, would that have been filmed during COVID? Or was that done before it?
I don't know. I think production halted because of it.
Okay, because I vaguely remember seeing something when I was looking up images to use in the last episode. Spoiler, I guess, for the last episode. Okay. Succession was in there somehow. In the top 10
You can't
list.
spoil the past.
Well, people might be listening out of order.
Unless you're a Bristol rioter. But go on.
Oh, because statues.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Got off, didn't they?
Did they?
They got off with it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They brought in a guy...
They probably got off doing it as well.
Probably did. They're on video pushing it into the river or whatever, the reservoir, whatever it is. And I saw the headline that they were let go, and there was much jubilation about it, obviously, online. And I didn't read anything. I couldn't get anything about the details of like how they were let. Basically, it seemed they brought in a black professor of history to talk about the legacy of the guy and slavery, as though that has any relevance whatsoever to what happened.
Well, I guess
let's say it was Hitler.
Yeah.
Is the law that you can't tear down a statue? Yeah.
Presumably, yeah.
Right, you go to jail then.
Yeah.
You might go to jail for the right reason. If you went to jail for tearing down a statue of Hitler, I'd be behind you. But it's either against the law or it isn't.
Then again, there's an argument to be made that we should remember like Hitler a bit.
Not as not in statue form.
Well,
because you don't erect like a monument.
Yeah,
I'm all for like mixed, like slavers. It's the arrogance of people thinking, well, I would never have done it. My principles that they are the way they are now, they are eternal. They would have been that way forever.
Yeah.
No, you would have had slaves. You would have, everybody would have. So you can't separate that from it. It's like we're not erecting a monument to slavery. We're erecting a monument to the other things he did.
Yeah.
Hitler, I don't think he might well have done some good things, but he's the bad probably outweighs the good.
Probably
in his case.
Probably.
So,
but yeah, the point I was going to make is that I swear I saw an article saying that Succession Season 3 ignores COVID because
it does.
COVID doesn't affect rich people.
Oh, I don't know.
So why would the show acknowledge it when these people that the show is depicting would not acknowledge it?
Who said that? Did the writers say that as like an artistic?
I think it was just like one of those, I saw it in passing, but because it was about Season 3 and we've just started it, I didn't want to read too far.
It sounds like a vaguely... I think that's someone looking for a meaning.
Okay.
Rather than not everyone wants to fucking write about COVID.
Yeah. It would be like... I guess I trust that they could work it in. But season 3 doesn't seem to really it doesn't need.
Like I think season 3, Biden is president. It's implied that Biden is president.
Well, I mean, in the first two, it was clear that Trump was president, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now it's Biden.
Yeah.
So it does kind of have an analog to the real world. But why would? Of course, COVID affects rich. Why wouldn't it affect rich people? That's such nonsense. That's such fucking bullshit. But no, I'm never going to write anything with masks. Like with COVID masks, it's just not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to write about. The only thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't set something in 10 years' time. I'm not going to set something in 2021 and not have COVID.
Yeah,
like if it's a historical biopic or whatever.
Yeah, that'll be interesting actually, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
to see if that gets remembered by history.
I think it will.
Like you're doing a biopic about someone who was like. This event of their life that we're depicting took place in 2020. Do you depict COVID, even though it's got nothing to do with?
I think it depends on
the thing you're depicting.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the type of film it is, doesn't it? Like, in Spotlight, there's that little bit where 9/11 happens and they're on the back foot because they can't really report on the story.
Yeah,
I imagine it's going to be like that.
Well,
in the life of this person. Oh, it happened in this year.
In that instance, 9/11 was relevant because it directly affected the investigation.
Yeah, but I think in terms of its prominence, I think equivalently, if you're doing the life story of someone that was in their 20s or something,
Yeah.
and something happened in 2021, you're just going to see people in masks and,
Yeah. No, yeah. I just wonder if that's something that would even be, like...
considered.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, fucking, it's, you're telling the story of somebody who's wrongly accused for murder, and you're depicting their trial, which took place in 2020. Is everyone going to be wearing masks?
Right.
Is that, like,
I think you'd have to, right? Purely for historical accuracy.
Yes, but also
I know what you mean,
probably stuff that like gets left out all the time when people are doing period stuff.
I'm sure. But I mean now what history isn't as it doesn't disappear as much.
No.
Because everything's logged and catalogued and things don't last long in terms of we're so bored we move on to the next thing. But it's all there. Like 2010, I don't know, 2008 or something onwards. That's like all there forever. Nothing's going to get lost in the archives.
Yeah.
I don't think. Absent some major catastrophe of some kind. Whatever that would be. But yeah, it's not like the 80s were like, oh, we don't really know what happened there and, it's not well documented. Everything is well documented now.
Yeah.
Just people lie about things as well. So I think so. I think, there'll be like that chapter of the film will have people in masks and you go, oh, yeah. 2020.
But then you're going to have a whole bunch, like a whole section of your audience that's going to go, what?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. A lot of them are going to go, this seems now...
Well, they all they don't like him, so they've got masks on, or...
Yeah. Actually, Succession won big at the Golden Globes.
Okay.
Best drama series.
This is good.
It is good, we like Succession.
We do.
Jeremy Strong won.
That's good.
And Sarah Snook won supporting.
That's also good.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely a shoe-in for the next Emmys. It's going to sweep boards, I think. That's all I've got to say about the Golden Globes.
Okay.
Dull.
You basically just wanted to... it did happen.
Yeah, it happened. It'd be weird not to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we talked for ages before.
Just so we all know, it's happened.
It's happened, yeah. But there's nothing to care about.
Okay.
Let's do a film review.
Okay.
Let's talk about Belfast.
I see that mischievous grin on your face.
Why do you think it's... Why? What are you saying?
What I'm saying is that you recommended that I watch Belfast.
Well, let's qualify it a bit.
Okay.
It wasn't a blanket, oh, you should watch Belfast, was it?
No, it was kind of like, give it a go.
Because we need stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you recommended to me a drama.
It's a straight-up drama.
A straight-up drama, which you seem to think that I don't like.
You don't.
Why do you say
speaking.
this?
Well, you don't.
Why do you say this?
I'm not, okay, I won't say you don't like them. You don't pursue them.
No, I don't pursue them.
You don't seek out... If a film was like, just advertised as a really good drama, that wouldn't interest you whatsoever.
It would, I don't know. In the sense that, like... If it had a good premise, or if it was like there was something about it that I was like drawn to, I wouldn't go, oh, but it's a drama.
No. This is my point. Like Boiling Point is a drama.
Yeah.
But if it was filmed conventionally, that's not something that I would have recommended to you. And I'm not saying, oh, because you're so style obsessed.
No, but
its style is what makes it for me. As well.
That's a tricky one because it's so Boiling Point is so the way it's made, and the way it's told.
Yeah.
So to take that out, it's like, I don't actually know what it is anymore.
Right. Certain dramas, yes. And you have to watch that.
Okay.
But generally speaking, I don't recommend dramas to you. Yeah. So that said.
And so that was the reason for your mischievous smile.
Oh, no.
I made him watch a drama.
No, the mischievous smile was me introducing the topic.
Yeah.
Then kind of acknowledging to myself that I have no notes for it.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm thinking, do I ask Jordan to premise it? Am I going to premise it? Do we have anything to say? That was the nature of the smile. I'll premise it.
Okay.
It's about a young boy, I guess like 8 or 9, and growing up in Northern Ireland during the 60s, Protestant Catholic divides, a lot of mob violence, all that sort of thing. And it's one of those films. It's about his parents have like a fraught marriage, his grandparents live with them, and the father wants to move to England. And that kind of throws a spanner in the domestic works. And that's kind of it. That's sort of the premise of it, really. What did you think?
Yeah, I was bored.
You were bored? Okay, so
I don't know what you want from me.
Is
Sam.
that why you mischievously... Ooh, sorry, hit the laptop there. Is that why you mischievously set up the... Oh, so I don't like dramas. Apparently. Mr. I'm not... Yeah, I'm bored.
Well, I would have liked like a 2 out of 3 situation.
Go on.
Just to be like, so we know for certain. Before I concede to you
Right.
that I don't like dramas, I would have liked a bigger pool to choose from than just Belfast.
I offered you another one.
Yeah, but I fucking...
It's a drama. What do you want? A giggle?
Two groups of parents get together and talk about their dead children for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to enjoy that, am I?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think I would. So I didn't watch it.
Enjoy it on a certain level. I'm not saying you're going to be raucously laughing. I'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, Belfast. So you were just bored.
Yeah, I don't want to... I'm just being honest.
Be honest.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. Like, I don't think it's a boring film.
No.
I would like to make the distinction between my experience and what I think the film is.
Okay.
I don't really know, like... I guess it's a good film. I don't want to be like, oh no, this is a bad film, it's boring, it's pointless, it's bullshit.
Right.
Because I feel like that would be petty.
Well, it's not true either, is it?
Okay.
It's not to your taste.
Yeah, it's not to my taste.
Yeah.
And in a way, that makes me feel like...
Right.
It's sort of unfair for me to say...
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's good, because like, I don't know how good it is. So when we say it's a good film, it's kind of like a hollow, like...
Okay.
It's like I'm overcompensating, and I don't know if I am overcompensating.
Okay.
No, I was bored. It was... like... What did I like about it?
Well, cinematography is nice.
Yes. Now, my thing here...
Go on.
...is if I say the cinematography is really good,
yeah,
does that look like I'm just being like, oh, there's nothing... Like, if anything, it looks good.
Will you stop being paranoid about the impression of your reviews?
Okay.
Just tell me what you think about the film.
Because I do actually like the cinematography.
Yes,
I
it's
do
nice.
think it has
nice
really...
black and white cinematography.
Yeah, well, outside of just the black and whiteness of it.
Yeah.
The framing in this is just really good.
Yeah.
It does that thing where it's like... say it does that... Yeah, it does that thing. It's a trope. I'm sure it is. But like, you've got characters that are in a scene together, and the camera is just locked off in one location.
Yeah.
And the characters are kind of scattered around the scene. Mm-hmm. And it creates like really interesting framing. Like the conversation is flowing between... So for example, like the one that I remember is that you've got the grandfather who's in the shed.
Yeah.
Or the outside toilet, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then you've got the kid who's like in the garden next to him. And then in the window to the living room, sitting inside looking out, you've got the grandmother.
Yes.
And the three of them, the conversation's kind of jumping between the three of them.
Yeah.
And the camera's not moving.
No.
But you're being carried...
It's dynamic.
Yeah, you're being carried through the conversation. And it's nice when when a director / cinematographer can like do that and it comes across as deliberate.
Yeah.
And it's still engaging rather than it just being like... They either were like too lazy to just like, oh, we'll just film it like this.
Yeah.
And move on. Or it just comes across as like unskilled, I suppose. But this doesn't. Like, this is a very, very well framed film.
Yeah. It's very well shot and it's nicely directed. Okay, like I'm not quibbling. Like the fact of the matter is, I wasn't bored at all, but it's fine.
Okay.
I didn't love it. I didn't particularly like it. I liked it. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was for me a very middle of the road. It sort of almost takes that Slumdog Millionaire thing of like, you can't hate it.
Okay.
You can't hate the film because it's just fine.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
No, I'm not saying... Stop it! One can't hate it. I think that would be weird.
Okay.
Because it's aiming to please you. And I get you could dislike that, I suppose, but...
Yeah, they do.
It's one of those... It's like Pride. It's not as joyous as Pride.
No, but
it's that type of film.
But the people in it do tend to be happy, don't they? Yeah,
it's like the Judi Dench and Ciarán Hinds as the grandparents. They're like the grandparents you want, and they're funny and like they dance, and you know it's that. It's going for middle of the road, crowd pleasing.
Yeah,
it's dealing with like heavy subjects, but with a lightness of touch. You know, it's black and white, so it's meaningful. And it's one of those films.
Like, for the most part, it's black and white.
Yeah, like whenever they're watching films or theatre or art, basically, it's in colour.
Yeah, I noticed that it was only art. Apart from, like, those, location setting shots at the beginning, that little montage, that kind of like Midnight in Paris tourist montage at the
of modern day Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but I imagine it's basically based on Kenneth Branagh's upbringing.
Oh, it definitely feels like if this isn't like a reimagining of his personal childhood, it's like he's consulted people about this. He's trying to capture a time and a mood, isn't he?
I think he's the little boy. And so there's like whenever he watches art that it's in colour, it was like the art calling to him as a young person. Right. I imagine that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing anything. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's that story. It plays out how you'd expect it to. It's Billy Elliot. It's Brooklyn. It's those films, and it's fine. I mean, Jamie Dornan and Ciarán Hinds and Catriona Balfe, they're up for all the awards and stuff. Thought the mother was fine.
Okay,
Catriona Balfe, she's fine.
She seemed like a perfectly believable Irish mammy.
Yeah. My favourite was Ciarán Hinds, the grandfather. He was my favourite.
I think the film, like he's the film's favourite.
He's the film's favourite. Jamie Dornan, because the two of them, they're up for supporting actor nods everywhere.
Yeah,
didn't really get it with Jamie Dornan,
the father.
Yeah, he wasn't bringing anything special to it.
I guess not, but he's kind of like the driving force of the film in a way.
Yeah, he's like the agent of change.
Yeah, exactly, and all of the conflict is kind of centered around. Like
his want to move and
there's broad conflicts.
Yeah,
but also you've got that
familial.
Yeah, you got the familial conflict, and also there's that person who kind of leads the
Colin Morgan.
Yeah, he's kind of like constantly trying to get him on side and get him to do what he wants, and so he like the film kind of orbits around him in terms of agency.
I also really like Judi Dench. I mean, she's doing Judi Dench, but
she's doing Judi Dench, but Irish.
Well as well.
Yeah, I believe her as a wizened Irish lass.
I would believe that she was like born in Northern Ireland and now has the RP, like Tony Blair, like was born in Scotland but has the RP English thing.
Yeah.
But she's like channeling her grandmother or something, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would believe that. I don't know. That could well be the case.
Yeah.
She's spot on.
She is spot on. I don't know if Judi Dench legitimately can't climb the stairs, but when she struggled to climb the stairs in the film, I was like, that's an old person.
Yeah.
That's a real old person. There.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I just thought it was fine.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say.
Right.
That's all I've got to say about it.
What did you hope for it?
I didn't have any hopes for it. I mean, I knew that it was a big awards contender. I just hoped, I hope for anything, just a good film. I mean, and it's not a bad one. It's just... It's that type of film, and it's that type of film paint by numbers. Like, it is literally that. All the tropes, working class, period piece, dealing with heavy subject matter, but like I said, with a lightness of touch. Crowd pleasing, it'll make you cry, it'll make you laugh. It's one of those films. And it's a perfectly good version of it.
Yeah.
But it's just fine.
Yeah, I don't know if it was... Going back to the cinematography very briefly, I don't know whether this was like deliberate, but you said that it's about like working class. It's a very working class set film, and it certainly is. Like, so they're all living in that like
terraced,
cramped, semi-detached, and the school as well. The classroom, it's just like 2 rows of children.
Yeah,
and it's all like on a clearly like a low income area that it's all set, but it didn't feel claustrophobic.
Oh no. And
I don't know whether it was like a way to make the film feel more inviting, or whether it was because it's like kind of from the kid's perspective, so everything feels slightly bigger than it is.
Yeah, maybe.
But when they're all like living in that semi-detached together, it feels like it's spacious and you can breathe.
Yeah,
that was interesting. Like, in hindsight, I kind of realized, I can see a version of this film where it's like medium close-up, handheld.
Yeah.
Film grain.
Yeah, like...
shaky cam.
Yeah.
You spent all our money, you fucking bastard. Like, that kind of... Like, but it wasn't that at all.
That's the distinction. It's one of those films, it's just a better made version of it. It's a cut above the usual.
Yeah.
It's a better made film than Pride or even Billy Elliot. It has a formality to its form.
Yeah.
It's quite a well-behaved film, and it's a measured film, and it knows... He had a directorial vision for it. But the content is fairly innocuous. It's just all the things you've seen before,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like, I don't know, if you had made, say, Pride, but you'd filmed it like Roma.
Right, okay.
It's that kind of thing, Yeah, 6 out of 10.
Okay.
It's that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that everything we have to say about it?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you give me like 2 more dramas?
Well, you should watch the one I'm going to be talking about in a bit.
Okay. Maybe not that one?
Well, I'm going week by week, as you know. And
Yes.
so far this year, Eddie's my metric. Because I said, here on out, I will keep you week by week, recce updated.
Okay.
So far, it's been Boiling Point, Belfast, and the film I'm going to be talking about later.
Okay.
So I say it as if it's a mystery. They know. Mass. We're talking about, like,
We've already
yeah,
told
we've already
you.
told them.
We forget sometimes
Yeah.
that you already know things
Yeah,
that we don't
forget
know.
that we're chronologically surfing.
Yeah.
Right, you had a thing you wanted to talk about. BBC.
I did.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we brought up the BBC like a couple of times on the podcast. It's usually in reference to
Their wokeness.
certainly that. Yeah, this whole like policy that they've, that I think has been fully implemented by now about like, you need a certain amount of women, you need a certain amount of, and also just like in the context of like Doctor Who, I think was probably talked about the organisation a little bit. For those who don't know, outside of Britain, I don't think you would. The BBC is a taxpayer-funded channel. It's a compulsory fee that you have to pay.
If you own a television.
If you own a television in the UK, you have to pay. The current fee is £159 a year.
Yeah.
That's non-negotiable. You could go to prison if you don't pay it.
Yes.
Or I think the idea is that if you don't pay it, you get fined. And if you don't pay the fine, you go to prison.
Okay,
That's how
right.
they do it. Loads of people that, like, I say loads of people, I don't want to, like, blow it out of proportion, but, like, I feel like whenever I have a conversation with people about the TV license, they invariably don't pay for their TV license.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe people who do pay it just don't think about it, they don't bring it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's, like, loads of people who'd be like, oh, yeah, I just don't plug my aerial in. That's how I get around it.
Yeah.
Or, like, when they ask me, I say, yeah, sure, I've paid for it, and they just believe me.
Yeah. Well, it's like iPlayer. All it asks when you try to play is, do you have one?
Yeah.
It's yes or no. You don't have to say yes and then put in your details.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. All right, fine, whatever.
Weirdly trusting.
Yeah.
Given that they'll send the bailiffs after you if you don't
Yeah.
have it. The reason I bring it up is because like this has been a debate for years, right, as to whether this should be allowed. That you should basically be forced to pay a set, because it's not even as if they take it out of your taxes. It's a separate fee, right?
Yeah, it's a separate fee, yeah.
Yeah. And so like I think the generally left-leaning opinion is that no, we should have, it's good to have a funded television network that is not beholden to advertisements and it's not beholden to political organizations. It is funded by the people to be an independent.
It's a communistic.
Yeah.
It's not capitalist. Enterprise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not there to make money. It's there to create stuff for people.
Yeah.
And so the people should fund that. And then the right-leaning opinion is that, well, no, it shouldn't be. Why should people have to pay for a service that they might not even necessarily be using?
Right. Well, the right generally is like taxes. No.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no, like, because I think it was only recently that it was suggested that people who were over 75 should not be forced to pay their TV license.
Okay.
The BBC should pay for them.
Okay.
And the BBC were like, no.
Right.
No, we shan't be doing that.
Okay.
But I think the compromise now is like, if you're like a certain type of over 75 person, they pay for it, but not all over 75s.
Okay. Well, look, the BBC has made some of the greatest shows of all time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, what it is now, I don't like the BBC.
Yeah.
I don't like its politics, and it is. It's not impartial, unbiased.
For all this talk about, it's like free from the influence and politics of advertisers and political parties.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there's no politics in the BBC.
No, of course there is. Of course there is.
Watch any drama that they've made recently.
Yeah, and I mean, I know, like with Netflix, right? So you pay your subscription, and they offer you all these things.
Yeah.
Now, I would say Netflix and streaming services like that are unique in that there's so much choice. Probably going to find something you want to watch.
Yeah.
Say you had to pay for ITV. They only program a certain amount of things. And if they're all shit, then you wouldn't want to pay for it.
No.
And it's the same with the BBC. If you don't like or want to watch anything they produce, then yes, you don't pay for it.
But this...
In which case, you don't get it. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay for it and you still get it.
Yeah.
Then you just don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't pay for Netflix, therefore I don't have Netflix.
Exactly.
I shouldn't be like, no, but I should have Netflix.
Right, yeah.
Because there might be something there I want to watch.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the reason I bring it up is because it has been announced that for the next 2 years, I think they are, because the license fee has been increasing gradually, like year after year anyway. But they've frozen it for the next 2 years at 159 quid, and then in 2027 they plan to abolish it completely.
Okay.
The government, I should say,
Yes.
plan to abolish it completely. The BBC are not happy about this.
No.
Nor do people on the internet, it seems.
Nor do they what? Nor are they happy about it.
Nor are they happy about it.
No. Well, the internet is, it depends on where. What exactly do you mean? Where
Twitter.
on the internet? Well, okay.
Yeah, I know, no surprise
Yeah,
there.
no surprise. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, they're into all that bullshit. And again, like, there are people like Stuart Lee that would defend the BBC to his death.
Yeah.
Just the fact that whole, when it was invented, what was it? It was educate, inform, and entertain. That was like the three. Yeah. That was its mandate. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm quite conservative. I don't want to have to pay for things I don't want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't pay taxes because I don't work. But if I did, I want roads. I want the police.
Yeah.
I want a national defence. I want courts. I'll pay for that.
Yeah.
What if I don't want the BBC? What if it's because they make shows like I May Destroy You and they don't reflect my values?
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to pay for something that doesn't reflect my values. Like, Netflix has original programming and, that doesn't reflect my values. I have Netflix, but that's like, they have so much that you can just choose, again, what you want to watch.
And it's a service that you're opting into. You're aware of...
Right, you're signing up to it.
Yeah, you're aware of what's happening with Netflix.
Yeah.
Because it's not even a case of, like, you pay for the BBC and therefore you have some, like, influence. Because it's like... Because you're paying for the service, they do, like... public opinion, they like get the public opinions, like, what kind of content no, it's like it's run as though it's its own organization. I mean, the closest is like Doctor Who, where they let someone suggest an episode, like that, those sorts of things. And I'm not saying that it should be run like that. It's like, oh, you should, like, because we're paying for it, I should be allowed to just write an episode of your show for you.
No, but you should have some say over, like, they should conduct a vote. Do you want another season of blah blah? And then take a vote. In fact, that seems so basic. Yeah. I don't know why they haven't done that. It's
public-funded television, therefore it's public service. It's a service to the public.
Yeah. Well, they just think they know better. Yeah. Like, I May Destroy You, but it wouldn't have... I don't think it would have a second season. But they go, oh, yeah, we value it. It's valuable. Yeah. It's valuable to the conversation, so we are going to decide to renew it.
Just like the entire...
Have a vote.
Yeah, exactly. And just like the entire fucking conversation around Doctor Who about, like, oh, it's still doing really well, and, like... all of the people who speak out against the show, like, their opinions are wrong, or whatever the line is, where it's like, I don't support the racists that are speaking out against Doctor Who. It's like, dude, we're paying for the fucking show. Yeah. I don't have to be involved in every opinion, but don't slag me off.
Right. Yeah.
Especially when I have no say. Like, because that's the weird thing as well. If, like, when Netflix came out, they were like, hello, we're Netflix. You pay for us now. Yeah. There would be absolute outrage. The same, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the left-leaning people would be like, no, why do we have to pay for this corporation?
Why do we have to pay for Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because the BBC is a pre-established thing that we all just pay for,
well, the thing is...
like, that has to stay?
Yeah, well, when the BBC... Well, the BBC was radio first, wasn't it? But, when you got a television, there was only the BBC. Yeah. And so having a television was synonymous with, tantamount to, having the BBC. Yeah. Buying it might as well have been called the BBC TV, BBTV or whatever. Yeah. Right? That's all
the
it was.
BBC box.
It was merely just a box for showing you the BBC.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you pay for the BBC. Fair enough. Yeah. That's not the case anymore.
In, like, the 50s that happened?
Yeah, the 50s, yeah. That's no longer the case.
We kind of passed that. Yeah. And it's, this, like, I've seen, like, pros and cons articles as well. Because I am genuinely, like, I remember a time when I would have been, if somebody said to me, like, oh, should we privatize the BBC, or just, like, should we get rid of the license fee? And I would have gone, no, you should keep it. Like, you should. And I'm, like, at a point now where I just, like, I don't even know what my argument would have been in order to keep it. So I have been looking things up, and there's all these things about, like, oh, there are no adverts on the BBC.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice as a viewer, but like Netflix has no adverts.
Yeah. On Netflix, you're not beholden to a set schedule. You can just, like, right, I'm going to, like, stop halfway through Midnight Mass. I'm just going to watch The Office now.
And I'm also pretty sure that there is just enough residual, like, are we really going to have, like, not have the BBC in our lives in this country?
Yeah.
Enough people would sign up to that service that it would, I'm sure it would pay for it.
Yeah.
It'd pay for itself.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh no, now we're losing. Think of actually how arrogant that is. Of how self-absorbed that is. Oh, now we can't make you pay us. Fuck. now it's going to have to depend on you choosing whether or not.
Don't the BBC already have a subscription service?
I don't know. I mean, are you talking about iPlayer?
Well, iPlayer is like
it's just online.
yeah, it's paid for. It's part of the package.
Yeah.
But is it BritBox?
Oh, is that BBC?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Doctor Who's on BritBox.
I don't know if it's BBC though. I really don't know.
That might be like, it might be a couple of them. It might be like all the British ones, like ITV, BBC. It's like all of their stuff.
Yeah. It collects them all.
Collects, yeah.
Well, I've got Now TV, but I think that's got like iPlayer on it,
Right.
ITV Hub, a 4OD, and Netflix. It gathers all of the
It gathers stuff together.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it doesn't mean that axing the license fee doesn't mean they're axing the BBC.
No.
It's not as if like, oh yeah,
they'll make less money. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, Doctor Who already looks like it's made for 50 quid anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I don't have any problem with it. You know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like beholden to advertisers. I mean, what does that mean? I'm sure there was obviously a lot of kind of friction and civil rumblings with advertisers. Like, you can't do that. Oh, we want to do that. Have you ever watched something and gone, the advertisers, I feel like they compromised that?
See, I know I have.
Okay.
I know I have.
Oh, with films, certainly.
Yeah.
With films certainly.
Definitely.
But I don't know, like, Succession is made by HBO, which is owned by, Time Warner. I never feel like, they're not getting to do what they want because blah, 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 blah.
The only example I can think of off the top of my head, and this is true of their films and their television, is that Sony, if anything's owned by Sony, they use Sony products.
Sure,
so
things like that.
They
of
use
course,
Sony Vaio laptops, they use Sony mobile phones.
Yeah.
It's all the technology is Sony.
That, unless it got in the way of story, I have no problem with. I mean, I don't like obvious product placement.
Yeah.
But if we made films and we made camera phones, I'd want Funfiltered camera phones to be in the film.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
You know, I know people people just hate capitalism. Fuck you.
Yeah, but it's like the BBC being paid for. I guess that's like a communist thing. It's like, we
it's collectivized.
We have a channel that is ours, but it isn't. It's not ours. We don't do it.
We have no say over it. Yeah.
It's a thing that we've just convinced ourselves it's like, we just pay for that, I guess.
It's just because it removes corporate influence, notionally.
Yeah.
And that it kind of demands an impartial broadcasting system. But it's neither of those things.
Yeah.
It's not impartial. It's just the people who are for it, it tends to align with their politics. So they wouldn't complain about it.
Okay.
It does divide along political lines. Yeah, conservatives aren't going to like the BBC. There are some good things on the BBC. I think they sometimes try to be impartial, but they're not. and their fiction programming certainly isn't.
No.
There are no conservative sitcoms.
Or just dramas.
I'm not being ridiculous. I know that's a bit conservative sitcom. Like, what's that mean? But like any values, it's all very progressive. Its dramas are all very progressive in their politics, and most people aren't. They're just not. Most people aren't those things.
But this is the bit where Twitter would say that you're an idiot because, like, was it Richard Madeley? Richard Madeley. He spoke out against the license fee because, like, there's loads of celebrities that were like, you can't axe the BBC license fee. That's just
he's an ITVer, isn't he?
Yeah. It's funny that a lot of the celebrities that spoke out in support of the BBC were BBC-owned celebrities.
Yes.
Like Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, he said the thing that we kind of opened this discussion with, where it's like, I don't listen to Radio 1.
Right.
Why should I pay for Radio 1? I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
And there were like tweets in response to this that were like, that's such a stupid fucking thing to say. Is it?
No.
If you don't pay for a service and you're being forced to pay for it, is it not wrong to resent that you have to pay for a thing that you don't use?
Well, it's basically extortion. I mean, it is like, oh, you are legally obliged to pay for a service you do not want. It's almost like...
Well, that we're assuming that you want.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like the moral equivalent, but it's like slavery almost. It's like...
Okay.
No, do you know what I mean? It's like you are compelled under law to pay for something that you don't want. How's that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know taxes work that way. And I understand that anyone could say, well, I don't want roads.
Yeah.
You could say that, but let's have a bedrock of like basic common sense. You got to pay for roads, you got to pay for the army, and you got to pay for the police. Because you wouldn't not want to live in a society that doesn't have those things.
Yeah.
And, look, nice thing with taxes is, like everything else can go fuck itself. Every other type of tax. That's all I want to pay my government for. Is I want my borders guarded, defended. Yeah. I want criminals caught and prosecuted. And I want nice roads to drive on.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Nothing else. It's not their responsibility.
That's my United Kingdom.
Yeah. Like,
nice roads, police and army everywhere.
I don't want to pay for someone else's transgender surgery.
No.
I don't want to pay for kids to get taught critical race theory. Like, no. I don't have kids. I don't want to pay for anyone's kids to get taught anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
No kids will be taught anything under my watch.
When I have kids,
yeah,
I'll start paying for schools.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I see it. You know? I'm not, like, down with, privatize everything. No. But it's that, my conservatism is mainly an American one. British politics bores me, right? I don't like the Tory party. I'm just frankly not as familiar.
Yeah.
Grass is greener, that's always been my thing. American conservatism, it comes down to, like, free healthcare. If that's law, right? If a doctor doesn't want to treat somebody, then, like, the end result is they are compelled by force. That's what laws are for. You must be compelled at gunpoint to treat this person. You can't do that. You have every negotiation, every relationship has to be a consensual one that you enter into. That's why healthcare shouldn't be free. It's not a consensual relationship. You have no say as a medical professional. I think the NHS has, like the BBC, has done wonderful things and everything. It's fucking shit. I mean, the NHS is a fucking mess.
I was on the phone. Was I on the phone? Yeah, I was on the phone with my local GP.
Welcome to muscular surgery.
There he is again. I was on the phone with him, and I was like, I need to book an appointment. Oh no, it wasn't book an appointment. It was like, I need a refill on my prescription. And they were like, all right, well, you need to do that through our online service. Like, okay, can I book the appointment now? So he was like, oh, you may as well do it do it all together on the online service. Like, okay. So I went to do that, but because it was so close to the new year, they'd shut down the online service.
Right.
So I had to wait 5 days because it was like, it was the weekend, then it was the new year, then it was the bank holiday. I had to wait 5 days for them to reopen the service. And then I did the online service, and the following day she responded by saying, you need to phone and book an appointment.
Our surgery, we go with the same one.
Yeah.
It has a pharmacy right next to it, adjacent. It's not part of the surgery.
No.
It just, that's where everyone goes, obviously, because it's right next door. The miscommunication, or just lack of communication.
The lack of miscommunication.
The lack of miscommunication is brilliant communication. The lack of communication between the doctor and it's stunning. I know, like, they're not bound to it because, again, it's not part of the surgery. It is just, it happens to be adjacent. But I have a prescription. Every single time I've had to go and pick it up, something's changed. You don't get this thing now, you get that in a week. You don't get that thing now, you get that in a month. Oh, if you need that refilled, you need to phone the doctor. They go to the doctor, just tell them at the pharmacy. They go, no, you need a note from the doctor. So you go to the reception, you ask for a note. And they go, the doctor doesn't do that. It's so fucked up. It's like Kafka-esque. It's bureaucratic nightmare.
Yeah.
But the NHS is shit. It's fucking shit. I'm sorry. It's not saying anything about I know the people who work for it work incredibly hard.
Oh, they've had a rough go of it.
They've had especially recently, yeah. I know being a nurse and everything, everyone knows they're amazing. But the system is shit. It's just shit. I've had so much experience with it. It is like, anecdotal evidence. But I think a lot of people have similar anecdotes.
It's an anecdote many people share.
Yes, exactly. So, as far as taxes go, that's all you should be paying for. Not, I may destroy you.
Yeah, that fucking bitch won an award off our hard-earned money.
Exactly, yeah.
My hard-earned money, not so much with you.
No.
I suppose you could sleep easy at night
look,
knowing you didn't contribute to the creation of my...
Yeah, nor did you. You don't pay for the TV license.
Oh, no, but my household does.
My whole household does.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
okay, I guess we are complicit.
We are complicit. I have Del Boy's attitude to that kind of thing, which is the government don't give me nothing, as in their case, so I don't give the government anything. I've never claimed Social Security, never been on the dole, never done it. I don't have any problem with people who do, but I've never done it, and I don't give them anything either. It's as simple as that. I'll do my own thing, thank you.
Yeah.
And when I make... I'm not going to say it, because in case someone from the government does listen to it, and I am done by the IRS, or what do they call over here? The IRS over here as well?
I don't know if it's called the IRS, but we have an equivalent.
Inland Revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, hypothetically, what I might have said is, and when I make... when I earn my fee for directing a short film relatively soon... It will be in the cold hard readies, or it'll go straight into my bank account, and there's no need for the taxman to know anything about it. That's a joke, of course. All my income is reported.
He didn't direct it, did he?
No, exactly. It's a pseudonym of someone else.
No, I meant the government. The government didn't direct it.
Oh, right.
Taxman didn't direct it, did he?
No, exactly. Yeah. Fuck him.
There's a thing about that in Belfast as well, isn't there? Where it's like the taxman goes around collecting all the tax, or the rent man goes around collecting all the rent. And then they hold them up at gunpoint and take all the money back.
Oh, I agree. I completely agree. It's like...
To the point where, like, did he say that, like, after a while, the rent man figured out what we were doing, so we just cut him in? We didn't even have to hold him up at gunpoint anymore.
The government is like... I think it's often compared to... It's like a running joke about people who play Animal Crossing that Mr. something. Like the guy that owns the island. Tom Nook. That he's like a money launderer.
Oh, yeah, he's a bastard.
Yeah, he's a bastard. The government is like Moneybags and Spyro. It's like, mate, I just want to go through a gate. That'll be 500 gems. I just want to go through a gate. I'm trying to save people. I'm trying to save dragons.
Yeah.
Yes, so is that it for the BBC?
I think so. Okay. I think we're both like, I don't really see the problem.
No.
Other than the BBC will have to like rethink where they get their money from.
That's the BBC's problem.
That's the BBC's problem.
Yeah.
And even so, we have like... I have my own problem, and I brought it up before about the fact that we seem to have to pay for everything now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have to pay for this streaming service to watch that, you have to pay for this streaming service to watch that. Depending on your taste,
yeah,
you could be dropping a couple £100 a month just on subscription fees.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's doing, like... It's a good time to be a pirate. Because I'm sure the piracy market, and not that they get anything for it, but yeah, I'm sure like piracy is like shooting up at the moment.
Well, if you're really into film and TV and you want to keep your finger on the pulse, your wage would be going on streaming services.
Yeah,
any disposable income would be going on streaming services.
You have to pirate if you want to stand any chance of keeping up.
That's my rationale.
So it's just a fact. Like you can't. I'm sure that like. You could sit down and be like, right, let's actually... If I was going to watch all the things legitimately...
Yeah.
How much of my money would it take?
Yeah.
I'm sure you wouldn't be able... Like, just like a general working class, like...
Yeah.
I go to my 40-hour-a-week job and I earn just above minimum wage. I don't think they'd be able to pay for it.
Well, look, you know, as a conservative, again, moderate conservative...
Yeah.
I would say, well, if you want the thing, then you pay for it. Like, that is how that works. Like, it's not unfair. And I'm going against my principles by pirating. We both do it a lot. Like, it's not a principle...
Don't rub me into this. I'll decide if I want to implicate myself, thank you.
It's not a principle I care enough about that I'm guilty about not following it.
Yeah.
But, no, I believe if you want something, you pay for it. But I was talking to two people yesterday who are in the arts, the local art scene, big, you know, very grassroots, like old Labour supporting left-wing people. And I just blatantly said, like, that you'd have to spend your wage on streaming services. So I just pirate everything. And they both went, yeah, us too. Like, they both did it.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
I think everyone does it.
Yeah,
everyone knows how to do
I'm sure their whole lives at the moment are them figuring out how do we get people to, like, come and see the art, how to pay for the art.
Yeah.
But it's just not practical anymore. And so the BBC doing, like, right, okay, we're using the Netflix model. You're now paying £159 a year. You can opt into that and we'll give you everything. That's like, oh fuck, that's another thing that I have to consider.
Yeah.
Into my, like, factor into, like, what I want to watch. But it's like, it's got to be better than a flat fee where you have no influence over the content.
Well, let's just speak subjectively here.
Okay.
I personally see no disadvantages, deficits to them losing the license fee. All that might happen is that some programs are cancelled.
Yeah.
And there's nothing on the BBC that I care that much about.
Not really.
So all it might mean is that it will compel them to make better programs. It might mean that they'll make a lot more lowest common denominator, like more Mrs. Brown's Boys now, because we need people to watch. But it might... I mean, at least it's what most people want to watch. I'm not sitting here going, oh, the tastes of most people are righteous and just. No, I don't share the taste of most viewers of television and film. But if they're paying for it, give them what they want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, make more Mrs. Brown's Boys. It's fucking shit, but at least it's what people apparently want to watch. So,
and I don't want to have to pay for it.
And I don't want to have to pay for it. Yeah. So, fuck it. I mean, they're not going to cancel Doctor Who.
No, but even that, at this point, I'd take that being cancelled for a few years again.
Yeah.
Honestly, half the time it feels like it has been, because it's so long between
so
seasons.
scattershot, yeah.
We've got maybe one episode this year, right?
2 more.
We got 2 more in her run.
Yeah.
But the 60th anniversary is 2023.
Oh,
so we might only have 1 episode this year, towards the end of the year, perhaps.
Of the new season, you mean?
Well, just like before we get another episode of Doctor Who. The new season, that's like years away.
Yeah, no, there are 2 more with her, right?
Yeah.
2 this year, though, right?
I don't know when it takes place, because the 60th is Russell T Davis's first, and the first one without her, presumably.
Yeah, and that's next year.
Yeah, that's 2023. That's November 2023.
I think that the 2 remaining specials are this year.
Okay.
Then we'll have that special in 2023, and then presumably 2024 will be the new season.
Okay.
I don't know, that's a guess. But
yeah.
Is that it?
I think so.
Is that for the BBC?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there was another film. It's called Mass.
Okay.
I think it's been orbiting me for a while because it did very well critically, and the premise is the kind of subject matter that interests me. So I was kind of gripped by that. But I think it premiered here on like Sky Premiere. Like it didn't go in the cinema. It didn't go on streaming service unless you count Sky. Satellite in it, Sky.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, it premiered on Sky, and it's basically about 2 couples. I don't know whether it's like a spoiler, because in the premise, all the premises I've seen for it, it doesn't allude exactly to what the nature of the tragedy is.
Okay.
It's a conversation that takes place sometime after a tragedy.
Okay.
So I'll just say now, I suppose, spoilers, because they seem not to be saying what it is.
Okay.
So if I do, it could be considered a spoiler. One couple are the parents of a child that was killed by like a high school shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's that child's parents as well. The shooter's parents.
Oh, okay. Right.
So they meet after 6 years, I think. And it kind of alludes to they've sort of seen each other. They've met each other before, but publicly or in the courtroom or whatever. They've never had a sit down, like... It's not mediated. There's not a psychiatrist there, but someone has set it up.
Okay.
As like going through the room, like, oh, we got to change the blinds, got to move the table over here, like have the tissues over there so they can see them, but like micromanaging all the different things.
Okay.
And it kind of it hints at what the tragedy was beforehand. You kind of know. You sort of know what it is. And yeah, it's a typical Columbine style. You went into school, shot kids, put a pipe bomb, kill loads of people. And it's just the film is a 4-way conversation. It's a play set in one room basically. It's Jason Isaacs, Ann Dowd, Martha Plimpton, and another guy whose name I can't quite remember.
Poor bloke.
He's in House of Cards. He's not like a face.
Okay.
He's the guy. They're all really good. Proper bass drama. Written and directed by Fran Kranz, who is the stoner in Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's his writing and directorial debut.
Which is the out of character one? The Cabin in the Woods or this? This, okay.
I think he's like a Whedon regular.
Okay.
I don't know what else he's done. I've only seen him in Whedon things. I think he's done Much Ado About Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, the Whedon version. But yeah, this is his debut. Yeah, out of nowhere, like, oh, right, okay. Yeah, really interesting. And it's good. It's like Belfast, doesn't really break the mold, but it's really sharply written, very well performed. But it's also exactly what you expect.
Okay.
But, it's just, it relies on dialogue and it relies on performance. And there's not a lot of that now And so it's nice to just see it's nice to see what's essentially a filmed play.
Yeah.
Now, it's not particularly interestingly directed. It's not like The Social Network where you go, oh, you've really made a boring interior interesting. It's just filmed. There's nothing special about the directing in that way.
Okay.
It's the writing. It's the writing and the performances. Jason Isaacs was a standout for me. Really good.
Okay.
He's the bereaved dad. Well, the bereaved, obviously. He's the whose son was the victim.
Right.
Him and Martha Plimpton. And then Anne Dowd is the mother of the boy who did it. And it's just an examination of... It starts off, they're all reluctant and nervous. And then they start getting a bit passive-aggressive. And then it just explodes into anger. And then tears. And it really takes you on that kind of emotional journey.
Yeah.
And it goes where you think it will go.
Okay.
It's not going to surprise you. But it's an interesting watch. And it's just to savour the performances. Jason Isaacs, first and foremost. And then Anne Dowd. She's kind of racked up the most awards nominations. But he's been overlooked. Definitely. He's really good in it.
Okay.
I think pretty much the best I've seen him in anything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because Jason Isaacs doesn't really get a chance to shine, does he? He's always supporting, or he's great as Lucius Malfoy, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that. I'm also thinking of his little bit in...
Stalin?
Yeah, Death of Stalin.
Yeah.
Get out of my way, you fannies. He's like...
That's Rupert Friend, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, that's Quinn from Homeland. Yeah, Jason Isaacs, he's got the Yorkshire Northern accent in it, isn't it? He's the commander of the army. He's the one who shoots the dude in the back of the head.
I thought that was his intro, though, because he walks through the door and he, throws the coat.
Oh, yeah, that's him. But Fanny's is Rupert Friend, and he's playing ice hockey. You fannies! You prattling fannies, or whatever that is.
Oh, maybe it's that.
Yeah, that's Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's the one that he shoots, whatever his name is, Simon Russell Beale, his character. He's like, well, let's done that then. Or something like that. But he's got the best moment in the film for me. So I am, of course, going to have to report this to High Command. And this Stephen Samuel Cross, he's like, and look at your fucking face. Yeah, he's great. Jason Isaacs is brilliant, but I've never seen him really shine, and he does in this film.
Oh, that's nice. It's nice for him.
Well, it's also nice because it's not like a big character. It's not a showy role. It's it's a grieving father, and I've never seen him do something that, don't
do this again.
No. I'm not going to do it again. Unfrilled, if you like. There are no frills to it. I would recommend it.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Do you know, or is there any indication in the film as to how tightly it's scripted?
It feels very tightly scripted.
Okay, so it's not like they were given a general framework, but they were allowed to dance around it. That
could be the case. I mean, it could be Mike Leigh. It really doesn't feel... It feels like it was all scripted.
Okay.
But not to a point where it feels too controlled.
Okay.
It unfolds organically and it feels naturalistic and everything. But I don't think it would necessarily say anything about the quality of it either way, whether it was no
improv heavy or script heavy. Just curious how he approached that, because if it's just the conversation, how much agency do you give the actors within that conversation?
Well,
we was Boiling Point. We found out. Well, I found out that a lot of it was. There was a lot of improvisation involved.
Yeah.
They were given right, this is roughly what we need to do, what we need to get at, but you can figure out the details for yourself.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, it kind of, while it's an emotional discourse, a plot is also unfolding, because you're left in the dark about what it is at first. Then there's the reveal. Oh, it was a high school kind of shooting.
Yeah.
And then it's, what was the kid like? What was their kid like? It does have a proper structure to it. There might have been some improv within that structure, but the structure is very tight.
Okay.
And so I doubt it. I would imagine it's very scripted.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a go. Just see what you think of it.
Okay.
It's not as depressing as you think it's going to be.
Because when I saw that, I was like, I'm not tonight.
Well,
that's not what I'm in the mood for.
My distinction. I won't spoil it, because maybe the audience won't. But just for you, my distinction between sad and depressing.
Yes.
It's not depressing.
Okay.
But it's sad.
Okay. Just for the sake of the audience, Sam's...
Don't do it.
No, I'm not going to tell them what it is. I'm just going to say it has no actual relationship between what's depressing and what's sad.
Oh, God, ridiculous. Fine, I'll tell them.
No, don't. No, don't.
Fine, I won't. But you're being silly. Should we now talk about the last thing, which is Dexter New Blood.
You excited? You excited to finally talk about it?
Do you not hear the pumped upness in my sigh?
This is like a while now. This has been we've been waiting.
October? Waiting for it.
Well, waiting for it for a while, but also just to like talk about it. Because initially it was kind of like, it's 10 weeks we got to wait before we can actually talk about it on the podcast. And then I think it reached the point where we were like, my opinion of it is not going to change, but I've got to sit through more episodes.
And then it was, I guess we can talk about it now, yeah.
Yeah,
we were going to do that, weren't we?
Yeah, like the boat is like, it's over there now, the boat.
Yeah.
So, Dexter New Blood. I feel like we brought up Dexter in some context before.
We brought up Dexter a few times, I'm sure, yeah.
People know what Dexter is. Show about a serial killer.
He only kills the bad people.
He only kills the bad people. And very famously, Dexter's finale was aired on the same night as the Breaking Bad finale.
I don't know how famous that is. I think that's famous between us two.
I sort of changed what I was referring to halfway through. So I was going to say famously
like a badly received finale.
Famously like a
okay.
bomb of a finale.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh no, I'll pivot. So I pivot to the fact that it was aired on the same night as the Breaking Bad finale, and one finale was rather good.
Twas.
The other was Dexter.
Yes.
So there's always been this kind of like cloud over Dexter, not just because of its like shit finale.
Do you reckon? Purely because they aired on the same night, there is some contrarian critic, and the hill they chose to die on is Dexter was the true masterpiece finale, and Breaking Bad is shit.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, definitely. I remember that being the fodder for our audition to go on university radio.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And now here we are talking about it on a podcast no one listens to. God, it was like an origin story.
Would they have listened to us on university radio?
They would have, just because people do. Like, whatever's on, innit?
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, not many.
No.
But yeah, they would have.
Would we have
more than listen to this?
Would we have lasted on university radio?
No.
Would we have been allowed?
No, we went to an arts university. We would not have been allowed.
No, but I don't feel like we were this committed to being like, no, this is what we think. Not that we were like more wishy-washy with our views, but I think it was more...
Well, not as much, but university is what did that to me.
Yeah.
Or half of what did that to me.
Yeah, so you weren't fully you yet.
I wasn't full me yet. Like, they say, don't they, I don't know if I've said this before, that if you want to become an atheist, read the Bible. If you want to become conservative, go to an arts university.
Yes.
That's right. Because if you're inclined that way, then you'll double down. If you're not, you will recoil in horror.
Yeah.
'Twas the latter for me. And you, I guess.
Yeah.
It was like sort of finally not really knowing that people like Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder or anything like that existed. And then having a portal into it and going, right, the thing that I first believed and have kind of privately known this whole time, people do talk about it.
Right.
Okay, it isn't just this monoculture. I get it now. It was half that and half just seeing all the other students.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that person. Well, that just shows.
What
when I was
being
in
liberal does to you.
My second or third year of uni, I saw someone wearing the "Fight the System" jacket, and I didn't know what it meant. So that shows completely that I had no idea what those things
now
were.
You would have just torn the jacket off them.
Yeah, torn the jacket off them, slapped them with it, and shoved the snooker ball down their throat.
Where'd you get the snooker ball from?
Yeah, there was a snooker table right next to where they were standing.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What a twist. Okay, yeah, so...
Also, I carry one in my pocket for such occasions. But yes, go on.
Right, okay. Yeah. So it's just...
Always have a lib choking snooker ball on you. Did you know that?
And the one fucking time I could have used it, there was a snooker table there anyway.
No. Yeah. It made me feel impotent.
What was the fucking point of this?
Yeah.
It's the like awkward questions I've had to answer because I'm carrying this around.
The girl you're into's dildo is like 3 times the size of your dick. It's like, well, I don't even need it, do I? Go on.
I have a choice of colours. Yeah, exactly. I could have used the stick as well. Fucking the whole table if I was feeling up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dexter famously ended not very well. And then they started bringing back everything that had ever existed ever.
Sure.
So I guess it was only a matter of time before they gave Dexter another crack.
Justified is next.
Justified. Yeah, Justified. People watched Dexter.
Yeah, it was very popular.
Very popular. Yeah. Mainstream, but like had its own thing going on. Like, it was palatable to the mainstream, even though it was...
mainstream cable.
Yeah.
It was like one of the biggest things on cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dexter's not like, despite its subject matter, obviously like a serial killer, he kills bad people, you know, he's like a policeman, he's that. Not policeman, he's a blood spatter analyst.
Yeah.
Like the Trinity Killer, just like some of the people that they have on that show,
the
characters that they deal with. And yet it's all still, it's like palatable to the mainstream.
But it's quite light.
Yeah.
It has a sense of humour is the thing. It's
Exactly.
not Mindhunter.
No, it's not like, this is like a nasty, horrible show that only some... It's not The Shield, where it's like...
No, it's not grim in that way.
Yeah.
He's likeable. He's funny and he's likeable. Yeah.
It's a fun show as well, when it works, when it knows what it's doing.
Yes.
Which it seemed to stop knowing what it was doing after
There's
a while.
no fun, is there? We'll get to it.
But so they bringing back everything ever. Yeah, Justified. Nobody watched it, so why is it coming back?
I guess enough people watched it is the thing. I mean, and people liked it. People that liked it really liked it.
It's a good show. I like it. But it's a show that I had to be told about.
Yeah, it's one of those shows.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised coming back. I really am. But
And it came back before Lost as well.
something is like, at this point, there has to be something that's stopping that.
Is Lost that kind of like... Lost is the end of all... like, when Lost is remade, remakes will end. And so they're kind of prolonging it. It's like, once you remake Lost, there's kind of nothing left.
Well, at this point, it is...
Or restart it. Because it's not a remake of Justified, it's continuation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lost, at this point, it is bizarre that it hasn't been brought back in some way. So there's someone or something somewhere stopping it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether... Because Damon Lindelof has said, well, I don't have any power anyway. Like, let's face it, if there's a chance to make money... I mean, look at the Uyghurs, Muslims, they'll tell you. They don't give a shit about any kind of ethic. I mean, Alan Moore has explicitly said, please, don't do Watchmen. I don't condone it whatsoever. And they keep doing it. So they don't care about that shit.
No.
But he's given his blessing anyway. He said, like, I will have no involvement, but it's in the public domain, essentially now. Do with it as you will.
They must just care that much about the quality of a Lost reboot.
No way. No way. These are the people that, I mean, they're probably different studio heads and presidents, but that when he was like, the quality is suffering because we don't know how fast to run toward the end point. And they were like, yeah, there's no way that we're going to end the show because you want to. There's absolutely no way. It's making so much money. You just have to keep doing it. And then he's like, oh, look, we need an end date. And then when the reviews for early season 3 were very bad, the studio said, fine, you can have your end date. 10 seasons? They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. So there's something somewhere stopping it. I don't know what that is.
No.
Maybe they're waiting for us.
Or is that going to be the whole they're going to do like another meta reboot in the vein of The Matrix, where it's like there's a reason the island didn't come back until now.
Oh, Lost is going to be infuriating when it does eventually come back.
Yeah.
Because Lost was always like ethnically diverse anyway, but it didn't fucking hit you over the head.
I'm not even going to think about that. I'm just thinking more about like the fact
the meta-ness of it.
Yeah.
Well, I can imagine the meta if were I ever blessed enough to be asked to write Lost, the meta-ness would be, it's like passing the torch of cultural blame. Damon Lindelof wrote that open letter that said, I love Watchmen, and so I don't really want to see... I don't think it should be continued, really, because of Alan Moore. But I'm like torn, and maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. That I'll write a letter to Damon Lindelof about me doing Lost. It's like, this should never happen, but it's going to happen, so I'll do it. Because it'll happen with or without me. So I'll do it for you, Damon.
Yeah.
And then, I'm
going to make them all white.
And in 10 years' time, someone in Kentucky will send me a letter saying, look, Groovy's going to happen with or without you. With or without me. So I'm going to do Groovy, okay? Yeah. Joking. Groovy's the thing I'm writing. I don't know if you'd even know that.
No one's going to remake Groovy.
No, it's not going to be made. Right, so Dexter.
Dexter, yes. Yeah. So Dexter came back 10 years, set 10 years, but also made 10 years after the finale of Series 8.
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years after the finale of Series 8. Dexter is now hiding/living in the fictional American small town of Iron Lake.
Yeah.
Covered in snow. It's a very Fargo-esque situation.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like that it's heavily regionalized, but
no,
it's like a very small, close-knit community.
It's kind of bland in that way, really.
Yeah, it's just kind of generic small town America where everyone knows each other and it's covered in snow.
Yeah.
And under the watchful eye of this close-knit community and his deceased sister Deborah, who has taken over as his dark passenger, Dexter has not killed once.
No.
Since the end of the show.
No.
Which leads me to my first question.
Go on.
Why the fuck was the first episode not called Cold Turkey?
I don't know, Jord.
It should have been called Cold Turkey. Am I wrong? He's not killing, it's cold. Because the finale is set around Christmas, you could have set it around Thanksgiving as well if you really wanted to get another thing in there.
Maybe. I think things would have to be changed for it to be a good title.
No.
So, like, setting it at Thanksgiving, for instance?
It might be close to Thanksgiving anyway. Because there's a reason Harrison shows up, right?
Cold Turkey, it's not like recovery. Cold Turkey is what you do at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's not killing.
He's 10 years in. Yeah. You went cold turkey 10 years ago.
And he's still going cold turkey now.
You can't... No.
No?
I don't think that works. I'm sorry to shit on it, but I don't...
What is the, designated time that for which cold turkey can happen?
Well, it's not the same... It can't be analogized in a way, because a killer is always going to have those impulses.
So he's always going cold turkey?
No, but it's not even... You can't even make the analogy. Because drugs, you go cold turkey, then they're out of your system.
Yeah.
It can't even be analogized.
Well, yeah, being a killer, as this season sort of shows, being a killer can't get out of Dexter's system. It's always going to be there.
So you can't go cold turkey.
No, he's always going cold turkey.
No. No,
I'm right, Sam.
No, you're not. You're
right.
definitely not right. Cold turkey, it has to end with it being out of your system.
There's a nice irony to it as well, because he kills at the end of the first episode. So it's like he's relapsed from...
Episode 2 is called Fuck Turkey.
And then, the actual Thanksgiving episode comes along, and it's just called, baked turkey. They're all called turkey for some reason.
The actual Thanksgiving episode of Dexter is called something completely... I don't even know what it's called. It's not called Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the titles are
Yeah.
I guess Dexter didn't have, the most...
They were okay.
Iconic titles.
It's a bit annoying that, the most iconic episode of the show is just called The Getaway.
Yeah.
It's a bit rubbish. You know what I mean? It's... But
I think there's one episode this season. It's called something like A Shitstorm of Fuck.
Yeah,
because they have
Homeland's got titles like that, but it kind of worked because the show wasn't like that.
Yeah,
it was. Do you know what I mean? It was weird. It's like, why are the episodes called that? It's kind of. But yeah, with Dexter, it just feels kind of hokey.
Yeah,
and like a gimmick.
Whereas Cold Turkey is perfect.
Look, you're not going to get my sign off. You go ahead with it, but it's not.
I will. I have. It's done in my mind.
It's done.
I've headcanoned it into existence.
Okay.
For me.
Do you care that much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cold Turkey. It's
no
fucking
about
perfect.
Dexter. I mean.
No, but it's perfect.
It's not. Mate.
It's perfect.
It's not.
It got it wrong.
It's not.
It got it wrong.
I don't agree. Go on.
You don't agree that New Blood got it wrong?
I agree that it got it wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't think Cold Turkey would have saved it.
Okay. It might not have saved it, but at least I couldn't say. At least I wouldn't have known so early that this was not going to be what I hoped it would be.
At least you couldn't say that they didn't have it.
The fact that the first episode is not called Cold Turkey.
Yeah.
I can now go, as someone who's criticizing the season,
yeah,
I can go, this is the first example.
Let's not get hung up on this point. Shall we?
Of why this was not a good season.
Right, okay.
I'd have to wait a little bit.
Yes.
Otherwise.
Okay.
But no, it's literally the title. Actually, no, I wouldn't have had to wait that long, because Dexter's iconic title sequence is absent.
Which is fine.
No.
No. It had to be replaced by another iconic title sequence. I get it. It would have been so incongruous to have the Miami thing.
Oh, no. I was not expecting them to just reuse the old title. I was expecting them to re-adapt it.
Yeah, recontextualize it. Like chopping wood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, something that was more appropriate to that setting.
Yeah,
chopping wood's a perfect one, actually.
Yeah, chopping wood or cutting up deer meat. Or that kind of thing.
I guess that one might be a bit too on the nose.
It's too on the nose, but that sort of thing.
Yeah. And I'm all right with you cutting it down a little bit as well.
It can be shorter.
Because it's a fantastic title sequence.
It's brilliant.
It's perfectly encapsulates the show.
But you have to sit through it every time.
Yeah, and it's 2 minutes long.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree that the loss of good titles was a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what they were replaced by? They were replaced by a, like...
It just kind of came up on
barely
screen.
animated title card.
Yeah.
And then, like, a flashy montage of the episode to come.
I don't even remember that.
It was like 1 second, like...
Yeah.
Like an Edgar Wright montage.
Right.
Of just, like, extracts for the episode you're about to watch.
Did it did that every time, did it?
Yeah, every time.
I don't even remember that.
Right.
I genuinely don't even remember that.
It definitely did it.
Yeah.
But, like, that's weird, because there's nothing that dynamic in the show.
The show is boring.
It's so boring. It looks so boring.
It looks boring.
It conducts itself so boringly. It's
Yeah.
such a boring...
It's so boring. It's no fun.
No. Which
None
Dexter
at all.
was.
Yeah.
Like, even the bad seasons of Dexter tried to be fun. They were still trying to do the Dexter thing. The problem was that they couldn't figure it out.
And there's something to be said for, Dexter was fun.
Yeah.
And now it's jarring because he's in like a miserable place in his life or something. And so cold environment, cold visuals.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you can't just keep doing that. And they weren't doing that. It's not like that's what they were going for.
No.
They were trying to rekindle it, especially toward the end.
Oh, yeah.
And it still just looked like monochrome.
The first episode, Dexter's... We see Deborah, which is weird because it contradicts what they're trying to do. But Dexter's inner monologue, where he's like talking to us, that's completely absent from the first episode. And then he kills at the end, and it's like it does the Frank Underwood thing from House of Cards.
Yes, you thought I would gone.
Yeah, you thought I'd forgotten about you.
Yeah,
so like they do kind of do that, but it's for an episode. It's not for the whole season. Which that visual style and that kind of like lethargic energy is carried through the whole season.
Well, the end, because obviously I wanted it to be good. I gave it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really look at reviews that much. So I went into it, and then I just didn't enjoy it. But then the big, like, oh yeah, it's really not working, was when they drop the music cue and he starts talking to the audience again.
Yeah.
And I felt nothing. It just didn't matter at all. Like, that's when I knew, like, oh, this is going to be no good.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, doing that, it's a promise to the audience. It's a promise that Dexter's back now. You're allowed to have the pilot, if you like, first step premiere, be different. And then they break the ice at the end of it, and they go, now we're back. We'll infuse it with colour. Maybe it can still be grim, and the fact he's rediscovered killing is like a really bad thing.
Yeah.
But you can still like make it crazy and make it fun and engaging. But
that's the thing, like Dexter was not above being miserable.
Oh, no. Incredibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the series 4 finale is the obvious go-to, right? But there's loads of moments throughout the show.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's when it was good, its ability to like balance its tone was one of the highlights of the show.
Definitely.
Like, I know it's from there's some moments from season 5, so it's a bit like, well, it's not in the good seasons. But like when he's telling Asta and Cody that Rita has been murdered while he's wearing like the Mickey Mouse hat.
Yes.
It's just like moments like that where it's just like it really knows like how to deliver this moment. That like where it's landing, but there's also like it's showing that like Dexter's not a person. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, that was where the humour came from, right?
Yeah.
In fact, he was pretending to be a normal human being.
Constant fish out of water humour. And just that kind of like wry sarcasm that he has.
Yeah.
While also it has Trinity Killer going, shut up, cunt. Just like moments of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, it's that sudden shift where it's like, oh, this is working because it's like now that it's being serious.
Yeah.
You feel like when hello, Dexter Morgan.
Yes.
That's a proper like, fuck moment.
Yeah.
It really lands.
Well, like whenever Trinity's on screen, it's chilling. He's like, I don't like looking at him.
Yeah.
He genuinely has that thing of, I don't like his face.
Yes.
It's just making me uncomfortable.
They did kind of break that streak though, didn't they?
They did.
In the fucking this detail I'm actually mad about. A lot of Dexter New Blood I'm just kind of like not indifferent, but I don't really care. It's like unfortunate that I don't care. One of the first things that we learned about season 9, which became New Blood, was that Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer, will be back in some capacity.
Right.
So of course people are going, okay, interesting. And then, like, they're peppering that in all the way up to the lead up to the show. He's in one shot. One shot of one episode that you didn't even fucking need.
Well, that's the thing. We were talking about what his appearance would be or what it would mean. And I think we even said it's going to be one flash. And I think it's, again, like, I've really had to stop being an optimist. Because all of my tiny residual faith in things is still, like, shot dead.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, well, they're not going to bring him back for, like, a second. He's not going to be in a flash. You don't fly John Lithgow out to wherever they filmed it for a flash. And that's exactly what they did.
Exactly what they did. And it was a flashback that you literally didn't need it.
Yeah. Like, they could have used the clip. You didn't need it at all, but you could have just used an existing clip.
Yeah.
Don't bring him back for that. But it was so there would be photographs from on set and like, ooh, look, it's John Lithgow. But that's the thing, because we thought, well, if it's not that, it's going to be he's like a dark passenger.
That's genuinely what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like, when it became clear what they were sort of doing with Harrison, or what they were trying to do, is like this whole, like, oh, is he like Dexter?
Yeah.
Is he basically just a serial killer and he's, like, reconnecting with his father for some unknown reason?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Trinity is Harrison's dark passenger.
Okay.
That's what I thought it would be.
Harrison's dark passenger.
Harrison's dark passenger. I thought that would be the twist. Because we've, like, especially when the razor knife, whatever it is, the weapon that he used to kill Rita. I was going to say,
but he wouldn't know him. But I suppose, like, he would have seen his picture as, like, the guy that killed his mother, to be fair.
He would have. Like, it would be
he's a baby. He wouldn't, you know.
It would be like a slight, I don't know if there's a word for it, but it's sort of like...
a conceit. An artistic conceit.
It would certainly be that. Because, the character wouldn't know what Trinity sounded like, and he wouldn't know enough about his mannerisms that he could, like, recreate him
But he knows the guy that killed his mother.
Yes.
And so, because we know, that's
the guy,
we'll cast it, that's fine.
Because we know the guy that he's thinking of, that's the guy we see. It's kind of like a little...
And it wouldn't have been too much of a stretch, because he would know what the guy looked like.
Yeah.
He'd be on all the papers. And,
exactly,
Okay, I thought, if anything, it would be Deborah is the angel and Trinity's the demon.
That's another interesting idea. You've never had two dark passengers before that are, like, at odds with each other.
And especially now that he's not doing it.
Yeah.
It makes sense that one is like, keep not doing it. And one is like, no, you can do it, but do it, like, well.
It's like the voices are getting louder.
Yeah.
It's getting harder to deny that urge.
Right.
And that's being represented by the addition of multiple dark passengers.
Yeah, because it wouldn't purely be... I mean, Trinity is a good person. It would be a good figure to just embody that. Yeah, just, you want it, fucking kill.
Yeah.
But it's more interesting if you got one saying don't do it and one saying just stick with Harry's code. You can still do it.
Yeah.
That's more interesting.
Yeah, like he's not just being like, fucking kill.
It's not sadistic. It's okay to do that. You're getting rid of the bad people.
Yeah.
Because that is the voice that would be in his head. It would be that voice, Yeah, well, okay. So when it came back, I think we talked as well about, well, given how different it all is this going to be one of those limited series that's actually just a reboot? Or, And it would have been better if it was that, for me. I don't want to see more of it. But it would have been better because the fact that spoiler, he dies.
Yes.
The fact that he dies means it is definitively a limited series.
Yeah.
It's over, right? Which then implies that they really did come back because they thought it was a story worth telling. Obviously money, like, one Dexter off. But, the fact that it's conclusive.
Yeah.
It means that they thought it was worth it.
Yeah.
It fucking isn't.
No.
It fucking isn't.
It's better than the finale that we had.
Yeah, but so is terminal lung cancer.
Yeah, I still don't want this to be the end of that. Like, they haven't given me a good finale in its place. They've just given me a slightly less bad finale.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even work, right? It
doesn't work at all.
I don't know what it achieves. What is it supposed to achieve? What do you think they're trying to do?
Thematically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know what physically happens.
No.
But, what is that supposed to represent? What is the show doing?
The show is trying to break the cycle of... the whole season, Harrison arrives.
Yeah.
Doesn't know that he's a killer or anything. Eventually, that comes to light. He explains why he does it, to Harrison. Harrison's on board with it. Then Harrison gets repulsed by it.
Yeah.
And then he kills him. What they were trying to do is, the cycle of violence is over. Harrison won't become like Dexter. There is redemption in the future. And because Dexter is someone who's a sociopath who apparently has never felt love, though he has many times throughout the show.
Like every 3 episodes of Dexter was him
he
finding out that
realizes
he actually loved someone.
But it was a way of resolving the arc that already had been resolved. Like going like, now that someone and my son is ridding the sins of the father and breaking the cycle, only now have I truly felt love. I'm at the end of my arc.
Yeah.
Dead. That's what they were going for.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense because they'd already achieved that. It makes sense in the, Harrison won't be like that. If that's what you're supposed to take from it. But I don't give a shit about Harrison. So, issue.
This is probably one of the biggest problems with the series, I think.
He's unlikable.
He's very unlikable.
Yeah.
And that ending in particular makes it clear that you needed to like Harrison for this season to work.
Yeah.
Because, in retrospect, it's all about...
Sort of turns out it's his story.
Yeah, it's about Harrison. Like, I guess, like, Dexter New Blood, it's supposed to be, because he killed another person.
Yeah.
But it's actually, like, Harrison is the New Blood.
Yeah.
It's like, he's the next Dexter.
He's the next
or
killer,
is he?
Yeah, or is he?
And there's this whole, like, he's torn between the father figure, his literal father, there's Dexter, and the father figure of, can't even remember his fucking name.
Oh, Clancy Brown.
Yeah, whatever he's called.
Yeah. I've no idea.
What's he called?
I've no idea.
Not Kendall Roy, that's Succession.
Yeah. It's something like that, isn't it?
No, is it? Oh, Kirk? Kirk Fitzpatrick? Not Kirk Fitzpatrick. Caldwell. Kirk Caldwell.
Kirk Caldwell, okay. Yeah, Kurt Caldwell.
Kurt Caldwell.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
he's called Kurt Caldwell.
Kurt Caldwell.
Yeah, and he's like an evil father figure that's trying to like steer Harrison away from Dexter, which is like bad.
Yeah.
But it's not, because he's like, I don't know. Yeah. Like when he kills Dexter, it's like, well, I don't like you, Harrison. You killed someone I like.
It's not that, because like by the end of it, I didn't like Dexter. I not like didn't like the character, like, I've now turned on you. I just didn't care about any of the season. So when he died, I wasn't like, oh my god, the character of Dexter has died. I was like, well, New Blood's over then. I didn't like, my mind already separated it. I didn't like the ending.
No.
But my mind already separated it from the show. I was like,
Yeah.
I know it's canon, but it's like, and you do need to like him for this reason as well. I said that a more interesting ending would have been the moral center of the season is the cop who he's in a relationship with. She finds out about him. She's going to bring him down, bring him to justice. And before she can, Harrison kills him.
Yeah.
She stumbles upon the scene, and then Harrison's like, arrest me, I killed him, blah, blah. And she's like, no, I understand why you did it. Take my keys or whatever.
Yeah.
Run, I'll cover for you. Have a life. And then he leaves the town, and it's implied that he will indeed go on to have a life. Her being the moral center of the season means that she should probably have arrested him. Now, I know that would have made for a bleaker ending, but that's the point. You have to like Harrison to like that ending.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I mean, even if I did, I would have preferred the more artistically consistent and interesting ending.
Well, it would have been, it would have been a depressing ending in the sense that Dexter is dead and his son is going to prison forever.
But it's over.
But it's over, and it ended like...
Well, the characters being true to themselves and not acting out of character.
Like
it's almost like when characters who are really smart are dumb all of a sudden for the sake of plot convenience.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, right, okay, it's that kind of ending now.
Dexter kind of being a perfect example of that, right?
Yeah.
But it's it's like, it's sad. It's not the ending I wanted.
Yeah.
But it feels like this is how you end
It's
Dexter.
artistically satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
which is really the direction they should have gone in, given that, like, I don't know this for certain, but that first finale, the season 8 finale, feels like they were trying to outthink the audience a little bit.
Yeah.
How do we end the show in a not obvious way? How do we end the show where Dexter doesn't get killed and he doesn't get caught?
Yeah.
And they came up with the third option, and everyone went, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they've kind of, like, they've gone for a more obvious ending, where, like, he gets killed by his son. I guess there's a poetry to that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing behind that to give it poetry. Because, as you say, the moral center of the season, like, she embodies the morality that's finally caught up to Dexter. She, like, corrupts that by letting Harrison go.
I hate this thing anyway, like this contrivance of... It's not quite the same thing, and I don't know why my mind is going to it. But I've spoken about it before. You know in Fargo Season 2, when you have Molly's mum who has cancer?
Yeah.
And you know that she is obviously dead by Season 1. The father's a widower.
Yeah.
And then she collapses in Episode 9, and you think, this is when she dies. But then she doesn't. She just doesn't. She carries on living, and at some point she will... And it's like, not everything that we know about the history has to happen in this narrow space of time just because we happen to be watching it. I loved that detail. And I hate it when, like, it's that go-to obvious thing of, like, Harrison will... It'll be a new season and Harrison will come back and he'll kill his father. I hate that. Like, it's the go-to. It's what every pleb thinks is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you just do it. You don't have to. Don't do it. Don't do a season where Harrison comes back. Harrison's gone. There's no reason for him to know where Dexter is. That's never going to happen. Do something else entirely. It's just such an easy thing.
Yeah.
Oh, in the end, you know, the brothers will turn on each other. And it always happens.
Yeah.
Do something different. Do something else. It's, you know, Jamie and Cersei will die together. And they do. Oh, the Dragon Queen will turn evil. And she did. It's just so, like... I know there is sometimes, like they said with the ending of Breaking Bad, they went through every possible variation on that ending.
Yeah.
And they said sometimes the obvious ending, it's that way because it's the right one. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But with Breaking Bad, it never felt like, oh, you just did that ending.
No, but they did it. It was the way they did it that made it satisfying, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
If you just say what happens,
yeah,
then it sounds like, oh yeah, I could have.
Yeah,
I
right.
could have predicted that.
Right.
But it's the way that it happens.
It's the way that exactly.
Makes the game. And that's the thing. Like, even if like this was the obvious ending, it's like, well, you can do an obvious ending, but don't do it obviously.
Well, it's like
give it something.
Our big problem with Watchmen was the ending, right? I think part of that was her and Tim Blake Nelson arrest Ozymandias.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I said should have happened, but it was like, oh, one of them doesn't want to, or like they kind of echo the Rorschach thing. But like the fact that Silk Spectre knew about it, and she knew it was for the good of the world. Yeah, okay, it's evil, but you had to do it. And then she arrests him, and he's like, I thought you were like sort of with it. And she was like, people change. Like, right, yeah, that'll do. That line will cover that. And at the end of this, yeah, the fact that, because it does go back to the Bill Burr bit, like finding out that his son's a killer. He goes, oh, you know, it's like Dexter. He only kills the bad people. It's like, yeah, he's still a psychopath. I'm fucking turning him in. You want a guy like that on the streets?
Yeah.
And I just think that if she was truly the moral center, all Dexter did was kill bad people.
He killed Kurt Caldwell.
Yeah.
Who killed her best friend.
Yeah.
And, like, loads of other teenage girls.
And the only other people that he killed, like, that she would know about, are, like, serial killers and rapists and murderers. Well, they're all murderers.
Yeah.
People that killed and got away with
Dexter, though, yeah.
Yeah, Dexter. So, if that was a thing of, like, oh, there are some people that it's okay to kill, it's okay that Harrison killed Dexter for the greater good,
yeah,
then I don't know why she wouldn't have had that attitude with Dexter as well.
That's something you can incorporate into the season, right? You can finally have a truly objective party who was not there when the Bay Harbor Butcher killings were going on. And so we can actually, like... She's almost like...
an objective analyst of
like a mechanism through which we can view the show as a whole.
Yeah.
It's like, even though she's talking about Dexter the character, she's really talking about Dexter the show.
Yeah. Is
what you did actually okay?
Yeah, right.
You bring that into the season. You don't just like... Because she finds out at the very end. So it's like, well, we don't really have time to do anything with this.
Yeah, and that character, I just think Harrison would have done it, and she would have said, I totally understand why you did it.
Yeah.
But you can't just kill people.
Yeah.
You're going to jail.
Yeah. And if she was compromising her morality,
yeah,
make it clear that's what's happening. Give her a reason to do that.
Because she's your surrogate in that moment. They went, oh yeah, we want Harrison to get away, so she would like want that as well.
Yeah, we want, but she doesn't.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We did.
She has no...
The problem is we didn't even want that.
No, we didn't even want that. But they presumed that we did.
They presumed we did, yeah.
But like... She has no goodwill towards Harrison.
No.
Harrison has fucked her daughter twice.
Yeah, she'd hate him if anything.
Yeah, he's fucked her daughter twice without her consent.
You don't really need
the mother's consent, or the daughter's consent.
Well, you don't need the mother's consent.
No, but like, it's not like...
I hope.
Yeah, that's a whole other problem if like that was needed.
Written permission.
And he's Dexter's son.
My daughter. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like a written note to like a PE teacher.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those types of things.
Abandon hope, all ye who enter. Well, they do call it the circle of hell, don't they? Go on.
Is it a circle?
What? Well, an aperture isn't it? Well, it becomes one when you insert.
Well, one of them's a circle. One of them's a circle more than the other one.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you were referring to that circle or...
Well, they're both quite circular, aren't they?
Okay.
Yeah. The actual aperture.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
I'll take your word for it.
Look at your cat.
What?
Just look at your cats, if you really want to know.
Well, they don't have... Well, they do, but I can't see them.
Pussy squid.
Yeah, but they're too fuzzy. They're too furry. You can't see
Have you tried?
No, they're just too, like...
Okay.
You can't see anything.
Okay.
Well, we have a boy, and I've never seen it.
Right, okay.
So there must be something going on.
Yeah. Eunuch.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, not yet. He will become one.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He does have them, because he's going to have them chopped off.
Chopped off, yeah.
But I haven't seen...
You'll not notice the difference. Just he's more sullen.
You could do with some calming down, though, in fairness. But yeah, he's Dexter's son.
Yeah. Nothing to her.
Nothing to her.
Yeah.
He could be complicit in the crimes for all she knows. He could be, like, just as... Like, yeah, his partner in crime for all she knows. She just assumes that he's an innocent party. The only possible thing I can think that might influence her decision is that not long before this moment, Dexter killed Logan?
The cop.
Yeah, the cop who like doubles as the wrestling coach. So he coached Harrison through school.
Yeah.
Who is, I guess, like, he's like the most... He's this season's angel.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
Where he's just like, there's nothing wrong with this bloke.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was killed, even though it fits Dexter's codes that he should, don't get caught.
Yeah.
The fact that you killed this guy means that you're not a good person.
It would have been grappling for that as a justification for why she was more okay with it, because it was someone close to her. But even then, it's like, if you're the moral centre, that doesn't matter. That's the point of being a police officer.
And if that is what happened, the show does not suggest that.
And that's the thing, he still followed the code, right? And he's broken the code accidentally before.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like a convenient, quick, it's a shortcut to, it's now like kind of justifiable that Dexter's going to die. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's okay now.
Yeah.
It's like when you find out that a character sacrifices themselves, but they had cancer. Like Michael Schofield.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's okay. Don't worry. It's not like it's just this situation. He would have died anyway. So that makes it okay. It's kind of like that. It's justified. Justified. On the slow lonely road. See them long, hard times to come. So... Yeah, I just think it wasn't actual character motivation. It was that she was supposed to be the audience, and they thought the audience wanted Harrison to get away, so they let him get away.
Yeah.
It's just very disappointing, isn't it? The whole thing, really.
Are we really supposed to think that Harrison shooting his father to death is not going to encourage him to become a serial killer? Like, isn't part of it was like, while I'm still alive, Harrison... You're inheriting all of my fucked upness.
Yeah.
So if I'm dead, it's like you're symbolically expunging that fucked upness from you. I think that, like, even if I was an angry person, I think shooting my father would fuck me up a little bit.
Well, it's also like, it's a paradox. The only way to stop being a killer is to become a killer. And the fact that he does kill his father.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like pretty much in the biogs of 50% of serial killers when they killed their parents. That's like a thing that they did.
That's where they start, right?
That's how you start. Well, animals and burning shit.
Animals, burning shit, parents.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
We move on to people now.
Yes. Is there anything else to say about it, really?
There's like a couple of things.
Because the things that, like, we talked about the setup and the very ending, because I really can't remember anything else in between.
There's a lot of stuff that happens in between, and it's all kind of like... I mean, you brought up school shooters earlier.
Yeah, Harrison looks like one. He's someone you cast as a school shooter.
He looks like one, and then there's an episode where he befriends a guy, which the show very quickly like tells you, this guy is like, if he were to become a school shooter, no one would be surprised.
Right.
And then they just do that. They just like, because I thought like, is Harrison he's going to befriend this guy, and without realizing it, he's going to like encourage this guy.
Yeah, enable it.
Enable a school shooter, and that's going to really fuck him up.
Yeah.
And Dexter's going to see that as like Harrison's darkness coming out. But what he's not going to realize is that it was an innocent mistake on Harrison's part. But no, like we find out that he just manipulates it so that he frames this guy as like, he's going to shoot up the school. Yeah. So he like stabbed me because we were having a disagreement. Yeah. And then, like, as a result, everyone, like, hero worships Harrison. That's, like, a whole thing that happens, and it's like, okay, what is this? What is this doing?
Harrison is someone you cast because of the face that he does for the whole season. He has that right face for, like, looking a bit traumatized and a bit, like, bewildered. He's got those eyes.
Yeah.
And that just kind of look of... juvenile terror, you know what I mean? Like, and the cold iciness about him. the cold ice as opposed to the hot iciness. The ice, like he takes a good picture. You know what I mean? But that's the only face he does. He has no range. That's all he does the entire season. When he's with the girlfriend, he's the same.
Yeah.
And maybe they're going for, that's because he's a sociopath in training or in waiting or whatever. But no one's like that.
No.
Serial killers, I mean, very definitively aren't like that. They're charming. That's what they are. You know.
We've had 8 seasons of a serial killer before this to know that this is not what a serial killer is like.
Right. Yeah, they don't look like some pastiche of Snow Queen meets Kurt Cobain. Like, that's not what they are. So, yeah, is there anything else to say?
Deborah was completely fucking pointless. I don't even know why they bothered.
I never liked her anyway. She had her moments.
Yeah.
And I know her utility in the show, but in this, just hateful.
I really don't understand why they did what they did with her.
Yeah.
She's a proper antagonistic force towards Dexter. She's
just unpleasant.
Him. She hates him.
Yeah, really unpleasant.
And I like, alright, maybe she's supposed to, like, the fact that she's so angry with Dexter, that's like Dexter taking his, like, anger out on himself.
Yeah.
Or he's, like, presuming what Deborah would have thought of him if she could see him now. This is not the relationship that the two of them had when she died.
No.
Not even close.
No.
They were on possibly, like, the best terms they'd been on.
Full disclosure sort of thing. I can't remember. You know Kip Thorne? He's the physicist that inspired Interstellar. His work inspired Interstellar. And he was an advisor on the film. And producer, I think. I think his rule was, you're allowed one... If you're doing sci-fi, you can break the rules once. You can have one rule break, but everything else has to be consistent. And I sort of have that attitude with convenience or contrivance. Like, if the film starts, a man is in this place and this thing happens, that's why we're following this film. That's your contrivance.
Yeah.
Everything else has to be, you know. You know he kills that guy.
Yeah.
Does that just so happen at a time when Harrison's following him?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they're not related. Harrison just rocks up at that time coincidentally.
Yeah, Harrison just found him.
At around the time when he started killing again.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, no then. The whole season's not allowed.
Right.
That's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
If one led to the other somehow, Harrison turns up and then it triggers all these events.
Well, he's reunited with Harrison before he kills the guy, I think.
Okay.
So maybe it's like...
Is he?
I'm really not sure. If that is the case, maybe the idea is that seeing Harrison somehow, like, contributed to his, like, urge to kill.
Okay, right, I won't...
But I really don't think I'm on solid ground here.
Yeah, I won't criticise further in case that's true. But if it is just the case that those two things intersect coincidentally, then no.
Oh, it is fucking rubbish.
It's just, you can't do that.
You can't.
Like, things like that happen in life. But that's one of those things where you watch, where people review a biopic and they go, like, reality's much crazier. They had to leave stuff out.
Yeah.
It's because you'd think it was made up. And you can't... Fiction has to be more realistic in a way than reality. It has to be more controlled and more kind of... One thing has to lead to the next. In rare exceptions.
Yeah.
Like Magnolia. The point of that is that ending is out of fucking nowhere and it, But generally speaking, it's got to be Breaking Bad. One thing can't happen without a chain of things leading
there needs to be a continuity to it.
Yeah,
continuing. And
so
that is a hell of a contrivance if that is the case.
Yeah.
Deborah. I just like... Yeah, it's not necessarily that I feel like they're betraying Deborah's character, although she's clearly not Deborah in this. I don't really know what she is in this.
It's a grouchy bitch.
Yeah, a grouchy bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not doing Deborah fans any favours because she's barely in it anyway. She doesn't really have any utility.
She's barely in it, and Deborah fans aren't getting Deborah.
Yeah.
The foul-mouthed kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
insecure,
what is the point?
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the plot, or in terms of like where the character is at in this season, would it have made more sense to keep Harry?
I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't at all, because it's not like... I thought, all right, if Deborah's going to be... She's going to be like his guilt manifest, and she's going to like haunt him.
She is the dark passenger now, because she is the only thing that could convince him not to kill.
Yeah, and that makes sense, but
That's not the relationship she has with him through most of the show.
No, Harry is
most
his
of the
dark
show.
past. It is Harry.
Yeah, it is Harry, and most of the show is her berating Dexter for giving into his urges.
Yeah.
Those 10 years where it was working, we don't see that.
And I'm sorry, isn't it? I know they did do it in the show a bit. Isn't it like significantly more interesting that Harry would get to talk to Dexter about his son Harrison, and like how the cycle repeats?
Yeah.
And it's been passed down
That
again.
would have
and
made
he's
so
like,
much more. Like, if you're going to do this, like, the cycle is over.
Yeah, it's like, don't do what I did for you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or do what I did for you.
Have Dexter's father in the show, because then it is proper, like, because it's ending a cycle that's only lasted for one generation.
Yeah, also, the finale is called The Sins of the Father. Like, maybe the sin, the ultimate sin was the fact that Harry did nurture that, rather than try and...
I think that's very much the opinion of season 8 anyway. Like,
That he should never have done what he did.
Yeah, like when Vogel, the whole thing with Vogel, when she's revealing like what's like her and Harry. Or funnily enough, there's no mention of her in this season.
No.
But yeah, when she's like, "Oh yeah, we nurtured you, we made you what you were."
Yeah, we shouldn't have.
We shouldn't have. And like Deborah is like, Dad was wrong. He was horrible for what he did.
Yeah.
Like part of the reason that Harry doesn't want Dexter to tell her is because he knows that Deborah will not take it well, because he knows that he's guilty.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and even just having Harry at Dexter's death would have lent more credibility or more resonance to Harrison killing him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, now the cycle definitely won't continue. What I did will never be repeated.
Yeah.
In a bad way, but like, it's okay, son.
Yeah.
I almost cried saying that then. I almost fucking cried. Imagine, and I don't even have like a big relationship with these characters, but Harry like talking to Dexter as he's dying.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
It probably would have wrapped that up as well.
Yeah.
That, like, a true ending to that dark passage.
Yeah.
Instead, we got Deborah just looking at him like he's fucking nothing.
Filth.
Doesn't he go to hold her hand and she just pulls her hand away?
I think so.
Yeah. It's like, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You bitch. I think
you show.
It's nice that we got to that, because it just shows how bad it is now that you could have had Harry there and they didn't. And I thought, has the actor passed away or something? Has I just like slipped through the news? He hasn't. He's still
around.
And he's still like, I thought, is it maybe because he looks so much older and it would make no sense that he's...
They didn't seem to care about that with John Lithgow.
No, exactly. And he doesn't even.
No.
He doesn't even look older.
None of them do. Like, Deborah, it's a bit in her cheeks.
Dexter a tiny bit.
Yeah. And like,
not Angel.
Angel looks exactly the
Angel's
same.
exactly the same. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that felt a bit like, oh god. Like, not so much when he shows up in the 5th episode.
I tell you though, what the problem is, it felt like, they were trying to do something clever. They were trying to do Hank stumbles upon leaves of grass.
Yes.
They were doing that, like, you think it's going to be this big investigation, and it's just this one little...
Yeah.
Oh, Dexter, I think.
Like, Dexter could not have, even at his smartest, he could not have foreseen this would happen.
Yeah. And you see through it. So I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're trying to do you never would have... It's the tiniest detail that you overlooked thing. And you're supposed to go like... What did he say? I think his name was Dexter Morgan or something.
Harrison. That was the name of his son.
Harrison, that was the name of his son. And you're supposed to get chills. And you just go... Yeah.
But like... Yeah, and so it's like they bring him back in episode 5, whatever. And then he's back in the finale.
Yeah. Just to say, I'll be coming down. You're like, oh, he's going to be like a standoff between him and Dexter.
Yeah, no. That's like, all right, it's a bit like, bit of a smack in the face to all the new characters. The big showdown is going to be between Angel and Dexter. Like, that does make sense in the sense that Angel is the most morally just character in the show. There is no darkness to Angel, or at least no darkness that could be forgiven. You couldn't be forgiven.
You couldn't have had him be instrumental in the finale, only because while the show's a continuation, it's set up a new context.
Yeah.
And it would just be fan service. Like,
it'd be like...
He's not a character in this
everything that we've done to get to this point, like outside of Miami, kind of doesn't matter because we're just bringing the Miami stuff back.
Like, by all means, if the finale was he gets caught and arrested, have Angel take him back or something.
Yeah.
You could do that as like a coda, but you can't have him be instrumental in the finale because, yes, this is a new show, ostensibly. So,
but what they did is she called up Angel and she was like, hey, Angel, I have Dexter Morgan, I think he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. And Angel's just like, oh, yeah, okay, that sounds plausible.
Be around tomorrow.
And then he's like, he thinks about LaGuerta.
Yeah.
As if to be like, oh, yeah, maybe he was responsible for killing LaGuerta as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be there now, and we never see him again.
Yeah.
So like, it's like you've teased the possibility that like, I don't know if this was the case, but like when the show was originally on, it's like, I don't want Angel to find out about Dexter
No.
because it would shatter him. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want that for Angel.
Yeah.
But now
You're
Angel's
friends.
like,
Cool with it.
no, not cool with it, but like he's now forever not going to know.
I think as well, do you think what they were trying to do was a bit of a red herring? Like set up that's going to be that kind of finale and then Harrison kills him. Like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Probably.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, probably what it was, but I think Angel deserved better.
Angel did deserve better. And another thing I hate, we talked about this, gaps of time between seasons of shows need to be treated more realistically.
Oh, yeah.
The Sopranos, if there was a year between seasons, they treated it like a year had passed. There'd be a new character in it, like, who the fuck are they now?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't introduce them or set them up. There's just a new guy in the gang. It's just like they're there because it's been a year.
Yeah.
And people are married, like, oh, I guess they're married now. She's proud, okay, because of time. And I hate that Angel's just in the same position as he was, because that's where we last saw him. It's been 10 years, but yeah, he still is the hat, and he's still the hat's not the problem. But the fact that he's still just the chief is, yeah. That's because we lost. Give him a whole new context, because it's been a decade of life.
Season 7, he had retired. He was out.
Yeah.
Season 8, he was lieutenant.
Yeah.
Because he was like, Laguerta is dead.
Yeah.
This has encouraged me to come back to the Force that I rejected because this is where I belong, capturing bad guys. But like, in the 10 years since then, I'm still a cop. I guess.
It's also like it's like a university script. It's like, oh, where's a place that two cops that don't work close by would meet? Oh, like a cop conference, and he'd give a talk, and she would be there.
Yeah,
and, you know what I mean. It's just like the go-to. What are the odds that the guy she needs to talk to is the speaker at an event? It's just no.
No.
No. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it, no. I didn't like. This is the last point I'll make because there are other points we can make, but it doesn't. It doesn't really warrant discussion. It's not very good.
No.
People seem to like it though. That's what surprised me.
Well, I saw someone say it was the best season.
They were betrayed by the finale, but people seem to really like the season that came before. I didn't. I thought it was really boring.
Season 7. Is that what you mean?
Sorry, no, this season 9.
Right, the one that followed it, yeah.
Yeah, like the finale, people were like, oh, this ruined, this rubbish.
Yeah, but this has redeemed it.
No, the finale of this season.
They like it.
No.
Right, clarify.
The finale of New Blood,
yes.
people do not like.
But they liked the season.
But they liked New Blood in general.
Okay.
And then they got to the finale and was like, oh no, this has ruined it.
Is it because they just didn't want Dexter to die? Because if they enjoyed the rest of the season, it was operating on that wavelength. If you liked it, you got the ending you deserved. Like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a massive dip all of a sudden. That's the season I've been watching. You know? There were no there were no goosebumps. There was no... And Dexter doesn't occupy the same place that, Breaking Bad does or anything like that, but I still like it. I saw it young enough and I liked it enough that it should have that nostalgic tingle when something happens, and it just didn't. None of it did.
No.
A way to cap off 2021, really, and not yet another big disappointment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Certainly a year for it.
Let's hope we can consign it to 2021.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
One more point, I promise, because that felt like an ending, but I haven't made my point yet.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you kind of brought it up at the beginning. This is an ugly show.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of it does that fucking thing that they do now, where it's set somewhere cold, and so the whole shot is blue.
Yeah.
It's just color graded blue.
Yeah.
Did you not think that we would know it was cold? If you didn't make it all blue?
And it reminded me of the difference between the Deadwood show and the Deadwood movie. That looked good. Yeah. But they tried to make it look more cinematic and in line with what TV looks more like now. But the problem is when he goes back to, you have when he's in Miami, right, a flashback, it looks like a different show because it's filmed in that more cinematic way. Yeah. It doesn't look like Dexter.
No, Dexter looked very televisual.
Yeah, and that used to be a slur, but I think TV then looked better than it does now. Doctor Who's emblematic, I would say.
Oh, yeah, Doctor Who, definitely.
There are some still great looking shows, like Chernobyl relatively recently, amazing looking. Yeah. There are still some, but for the most part, they're there's such a level of competence has been reached, like you've talked about with cinematography. You don't notice it anymore. There's a show called Yellow Jackets that I think would tick that box. And you say, yeah, but it looks like every other show.
Yeah.
They all look like that now. They're all slick and well put together and visually...
Yeah, it kind of doesn't mean anything anymore, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't. And so it's nicer. The West Wing I prefer to look at than,
This is something different. It looks different to the thing I look at it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the fact that it looks ugly and horrible, it'd be like, oh, right, okay, that's what they've decided to go with.
Yeah.
They've decided to make it all blue because they don't know, they think
because this isn't Miami.
Because this isn't Miami. This is so not Miami that everything's blue now. But you look on the Dexter social media page.
Right.
The behind the scenes stills, and I'm pretty sure the promos for the episodes as well, which use the same footage, are color graded differently.
Better?
Yeah. They've got colour, like a variety of colour. It's still got that kind of like slightly muted palette, but it's got like colour. Like when they're outside, you can see like the green of the trees and like.
So it's like it's like when you see a demo for a game and it looks fucking amazing, and the game's nothing like that.
Yeah,
they've saved the best. Like we'll put the real effort into the behind the scenes and the promos. The thing about it is, it's one of those things where, when Deadwood came back, like, right, they've been trying to do it for years and years and years, and finally he did it.
Yeah.
And it reflected the time gap, and it was like, resolved all these things, and it was about the passage of time. And this comes back and you go, right, it's now, especially that he dies, this is all there was going to be.
Yeah.
And so this must have been a story worth telling. It must have been vital. It must have really thought about it. But I think it was announced. Like, there was no sense that it was ever coming back, right? And then, it's coming back. And then it was on.
Yeah.
I wonder how quickly the time thing was, the process of getting it made. Because what was the rush? Why did we need to have Dexter now?
Yeah.
Because it all feels rushed.
Because it's set 10 years after the original show ended, but it's not been 10 years in reality.
Exactly.
Yet. So it would have made sense if they matched it. It has been 10 years in the show, and it has been 10 years
and
in real life.
decide in 2020 or 2021 we're going to do a Dexter revival in 2023. Start thinking about it.
Yeah.
You have 3 years. Because, it just feels like a rushed season of Dexter. Where it ended up just like subpar. But this should be a special type of quality.
Like they brought the original showrunner back as well?
Yeah.
The guy who did the good seasons?
Yeah.
It's like, this is Dexter back at its peak.
Right, yeah. We're going to make up for that finale.
Yeah, this is our apology for the last 4 seasons, but also really the finale.
And it was an insincere one.
Yeah.
I think that's the end.
Yeah, that's the end.
Yeah,
no more. Forget about it. It was done.
Yeah.
It is no more.
It's no more. Okay. That's that then, I guess.
I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything that we had.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.